Afternoon as we work our way towards 2 o'clock. We work our way towards the final Fed decision of 2022. Looks like it's going to be this 50 basis point increase that we've been expecting over the past couple of weeks ever since Powell made that speech. I went back and checked. It was the first day of November when he made that speech suggesting that it was time, the time had come to slow the pace of increases. So that instantly flipped things from yeah, exactly. 75 basis points to about half a point. Here we are, though, as we speak, back at day highs, essentially, for the overall market. Pretty impressive how we are holding up to start the afternoon. Here's a quick look at the big board as we head towards, 2 p.m., 0.8 for the market itself. But, I mean, not much has changed. Moderna a little bit better off, 7.5. CHTR there, 13.8%. Downside after they said they're going to spend $5.5 billion going into next year to improve their internet. Essentially, industrials are among the leaders right now, along with tech stocks. ON Semiconductor down 4%, notably weak on the day. Everything else, though, not bad at all. 15 minutes here, guys, to talk a little bit about what is to come at 2 p.m. Again, if it's the first time you've heard this, it's going to be a release. So we'll get the number initially, and that'll be accompanied with a pre-prepared statement from Fed Chair Powell, which essentially talks about why they came to the decision that they came to. It'll tell us a little bit on who voted what and why, and then we'll get the follow-through for the overall market. The next kind of checkpoint will be 2:30, as we said this morning, when we get the press conference to come through. That is, again, a prepared statement that he will read, and then we'll get the Q&A, which should be a little more exciting following that statement. Let's bring in the guys here, though, and talk a little bit about the overall market here before we get this announcement, because, as I mentioned, Fahad, could we get a 3-pip or something, maybe? Hey, thanks, Fahad.
Come on, man. He's eating his peanut butter bagel over there.
Sorry for disrupting. Here we are, guys, day highs as we head towards Fed Chair Powell.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, welcome back, man. I mean, now he's got to go the other way. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very special day, of course. You might notice on our thumbnail we have a big picture of Jerome Powell.
That's that handsome gentleman?
That's handsome gentleman. It's not Brendan. It's Jerome Powell. It's future Fed Chair Brendan Wickens. But no.
You got my vote.
Yeah, exactly. And just let us know what you're doing before you do it. And then we can take advantage of that.
Actually, no, we don't want him to leave.
No, I don't want him to leave. But if he's going to tell us, like, hey, guys, I'm going to surprise, give us, like, some insider tips there. But, okay, Brendan's with us now, so let's discuss what we think is going to happen here with the Fed. Look, it's, what is it, 80% still, right, for the 50 basis points. It's going to come out 50, I'm pretty sure. We've had very, very, it hasn't been, like, offline. I mean, so far, so good. We've had 4 straight rates hikes of 75 basis points. That's about to come to an end. Here's the futures. Nice move here ahead of Powell. We only now have 10 minutes before he comes out. I always wonder what that run-up is all about. Remember yesterday on the CPI, if I can find it, we had a huge move up prematurely right here into CPI. So that was a bump. It faded. Then a minute before we took off, and then the better than expected number came through. And of course it was hit all day, but that's just a little funny read there on what happened yesterday at 8:30. Bump up, came back down. Someone probably thought fat finger, probably not true. They just went long, and then someone ripped this thing a minute before, and then it came out and we had something about a velocity halt or something there early. That's what
they call it?
That's what it's classified as. I don't really know exactly what it was. Too far, too fast, I guess. And right now you're sort of barcoding at the top. We're above that 12,000, but these numbers aren't going to mean anything pretty soon. The best thing to do would be just to trade momentum. Wait for it to happen. You can see Neil and I both. I'm still in Carvana. It doesn't show that, but it doesn't matter.
IMMX is a small cap. It doesn't matter.
We're in small names here. I think the best decision would be to be flat. And then the real money, although last time we absolutely crushed it, we'll wait to see if we can find some tops and bottoms again here. But that's going to be key, man. Expand your chart, Neil, and see if there's any past support and resistance. Let's see where this goes. We're here.
Yeah, look, it's going to be the 50, and then it's going to be the language that comes in, which means digesting whatever changes in the text will happen. So you could see that whipsaw action. That's kind of what I'm hoping to see here. So if we do get, let's say there's something in there that's pretty dovish or whatever, and then that caused a big spike up. The obvious level on the Qs I'd look at is at 300. I don't know if we see something along those lines. And then down support, yesterday's bottoms at 285 or so. On the NASDAQ futures, if you're looking at equivalent levels, you can have those up. I'm going to have the Qs. And know what stock you want to trade. Because any levels that you're at right now might not matter so much. But I've got Meta on my mind here. I had a 123 short. I was scalping it a little bit. And I just see relative strength in Meta. So I already know that if we end up with a trend to the upside, especially after 230, this is a name that I'm going to want to be in. There's some other names I like to the short side. But if we end up looking for some long opportunities, something like a Meta, where if I get a chance at that double bottom at 119, let's say we flash down immediately, I might look for a dead cat bounce on that first rubber band move. And then it'll stand out like a sore thumb where the break would be at the high of the day. If we break highs and we start running to the upside at 230 when Powell's on the podium, Meta through last week's high is definitely a name I want to be looking at. So, have an idea where you want to be. It's going to be all about that first whipsaw action. You don't want to get triggered in and wicked around too much there. And then the general trend usually comes after that 230. So I find between 205, 210, and 230. I don't want to be over trading. I want to be playing whatever range gets developed, and then just look for the general trend after 230. But know where you like some relative strength. I know I like Meta. We talked Microsoft earlier. I think that one I kind of like to the long side. There's always the chips out there. NVIDIA could be in play as well. I'm going to stay away from something like Moderna that I was trading all day. I don't think that's going to be a stock that'll be in play for me on this number.
All right, you just hit it on the head there with the chips. I mean, there's a couple plays. I like Microsoft for strength. You like Meta, same difference. Both tech names should go. If the market goes, they'll both go. But what about AMD here today? AMD is actually negative, down 0.36 today. If you look at a 5-minute chart, so a little bit longer frame here. If you think about it, if we rip up huge, there's that CPI top, 74, 74.50. 75, 74.50 up there for AMD. I think we could fade that if we do get that monster rally up. I mean, it's going to have to bump up $3. I think it can do that easily. And then this is not going to matter because I think we miss this. But, like this 70.50 right there, that's a pretty big level on AMD. So if it's negative, I hope that I'm able to short AMD here around 70.50 if that does come out. But again, like we're talking about this, but what you really want to know is, when Brendan goes, okay, it's 50 points, like what does that mean? And I don't really, I was saying this to Mateo there, a former trader now working in the back. It's like, what exactly does 50 points mean? I mean, if we're expected to get 50 points, we're up 0.7. We rallied huge yesterday, then faded out all day. So we got better than expected yesterday, bumped up on the release, and then faded all day. So if we get 50 points, that's as expected, and it's better than expected because you still have 20% thinking possibly 75 basis points. So if it comes in at 50, you get a sigh of relief from the 50-point guys because it came out as expected. And then you get some maybe caught offside a little bit because they were thinking 75. So those guys might start to buy because it was 50 instead of 75. But at the end of the day, it's still as expected. So like if it comes out 50 as expected, then where does the market go? I honestly think that it might not move too dramatically. The key is when he starts to speak. Will people, they're going to prod at him, ask him quiet. I'm talking about Powell when he comes on at 2:30. They're going to be like, hey, where do you see us going from here? What numbers are you looking at? Are you still trying to get to 5%? Has that changed to 5.5? Has that gone lower? What is that dot plot? What do we look like for the next rate hike? Maybe are you consider cutting? Like there's going to be this kind of talk, and that's really where the market goes, right? So we're going to wait for that. That's why I look for tops and bottoms, which is what I think we just did there. Pretty good on AMD, man. A rip up here is good. A tank back here is fine. The same play for Microsoft. If it goes down and you can buy something around 260 here for Microsoft, I think that's going to be a good buy level, But again, let's let it bounce. You don't want to buy 260. Next thing you know, it's at 258 because it could bounce right back at the next minute. So only 5 minutes to go here. This is going to be an exciting one, needless to say.
Yeah, and don't forget Tesla too. Tesla's been, relatively weak, I think, all day long, and looking for something that if we do head southbound and we do get a bit of a continuation, I suppose, for the weaker names. Tesla 162 up here, up at the top, sure comes into play, but I like the levels a little further away just in case you get a monster spike. Looking at a 165 from this morning, that could be a fadeable level. Again, just sort of playing off the notion that you could go whipsaw in either direction, and if I want to be fading a pop, shorting near a high, I think I want something which was showing me initial weakness. I'm pretty sure it's going to go as follows, right? So we got about 4 minutes to go. We're going to be on Brendan at 2. We're expecting, of course, as expected. So if you're as expected or 50 basis points, that's what we're going to get from Brendan. And then, of course, as we're digesting the text, Brendan is going to be coming to us with real time. Okay, this got said, or this was a change in the statement. The market's going to be going back and forth based on all of these little idiosyncrasies and differences that we have in the text. I don't know if there's anything you want to say before we get closer to 2 here, Brendo.
Yeah, so I was just hearing, shout out to Tony Knack at Financial Juice, in my ear right now. He was just saying that this one is the one that includes the economic projections as well, which happens every other Fed meeting. So that's every other Fed meeting they come out with the economic projections going forward. So we'll get that as well right at 2 o'clock. But as far as the actual statement is concerned, we'll sift through the comments as Neil was just mentioning, make sure anything groundbreaking wasn't released in the actual statement, and then it's going to all be about what happens at 2:30 with the comments. I'll just show you this real quick as far as where I'm going to be looking, which is right here. Again, shout out to our friends at Financial Juice. U.S. interest rate decision expected 4.5%. That's the end result of a 50 basis point hike. So this number should come out exactly the same, 4.5%, which is the target rate. FOMC rate statement is simply a yes/no kind of a thing. And then we'll get the press conference down there at 2:30, guys. So about 3 minutes to go here. What are we looking at as far as the trade?
All right, so yeah, someone said in the chat, I think it's right, knees weak, palms are sweaty, because right now...
My hands are cold.
Yeah, your hands are cold. Yeah, knees weak, hands are cold. But where's the trade? I mean, if you're going to look at the futures right now, the NASDAQ is bumping off that 12,000. If you did want to dance with it, you could test it if it comes back down to 12. But the problem is there's going to be very, very limited liquidity when this comes out. You're going to see the level 2 really evaporate on the futures. But here's the NASDAQ. It's been a nice bump up. I would always think that you could buy pre-market bottom, so down here 11,900, something like that, if we make a move to the downside. But honestly, this is almost a completely different event than the CPI, because the CPI read comes out and it's either greater than or less than expected, right? Or it could be as expected, but we haven't got that. So yesterday it was better, the market rallied, then faded. So like I just finished saying, if it's 50 points, I think we get a rally and then a fade again. That's the play that I'm looking for. So I have AMD on the watch up here. I just put an offer in 74.50. If it rips to there, fine. And then I also have a downside move in case there's something dramatic that comes 75 or 1. I think the market absolutely tanks like crazy. So we want to have something on if it tanks. I want to have something on if it rips. AMD is what I'm looking at.
If we get 75, I'm punching Intel short.
That's what I mean. Like, something's got to go short. So we want to make sure that will happen. I don't think so, AJ. I don't think it's 1,000 points one way or the other.
What?
I assume you're talking about the Dow, but it could be. No idea. Last time it was up, 4 or 5%? So I think we could do that for sure. But today seems, I don't know. Like, we had that number yesterday. We are less than a minute away. Well, we are a minute away right now. I have my plans. I also like Tesla break long, 161.50. I think that's pretty good. All right, a minute left.
Yeah.
Let's go over to Brendan and we'll prep this.
And I was just reading through a statement from Wells Fargo and their trade desk guys. They're expecting hawkish comments to continue. So more rate hikes needed, higher than expected, the yada yada in that sense, as far as we've heard over the past couple of meetings. So just be aware, we could still get a lot of hawkish comments coming through with this overall rate hike, even though it'll be the first time, as Sean was saying, in 4 straight 75 basis point moves to the upside. Let's just go to this, Fahad, if we can, so we don't miss anything. 23 seconds, 22 seconds to go here. Again, 4.5 expected. No reason why we shouldn't see. Oh, I like that, guys. We got a 3-pip.
Great shot.
Let's get a 3-pip going here.
Let's go. We're getting ready to rock and roll.
10 seconds to go here. Again, this will populate right here. Should be 4.5%. Anything outside of that, and expect a market move to be substantial. 2 and 1.
Okay, it's a move down,
50
obviously.
basis points to the upside. 50 basis
Okay,
points,
okay,
as
so-
expected, guys, as expected.
All right, knees weak, not so sweaty. Okay, so as expected, we get the move down. I was sort of thinking we might get a move up as expected, but it's kind of flat. AMD is looking at that 70-50 level. We're not in that. Nothing triggering for me yet. What else do we look at there? Microsoft. Ooh, Microsoft dipped down. I like this buy. What the hell is Microsoft doing down here? There it is. We just got a short on AMD. Let's see if that works. I don't think Microsoft deserves to be down near 250. We are short AMD right now. Microsoft's down to 258. That's a big move down there for MSFT, but we are short AMD now.
Yeah, I'm looking at 120s about for Meta here. Meta it breached 121, so I was looking for the dip on this. It didn't quite get there. Might have to take some in the 50 range. Intel is what I like for the short, but I like closer to 2880. Always allow the whipsaw action to come to you, so I want this to get down to my price, and I also want to give some room here on a pullback to be able to catch any kind of a short here on Intel. It's just a name I happen to like that's weak. Tesla just cratered. It's back at 158. Ooh, 158 is a good level on Tesla. I might have to get involved there. I don't want to wait too far.
150?
Sorry, 158. Remember 158 from this morning. Not 150. 158 Tesla is where it's at.
Wow, knees weak, palms are sweaty on that one.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, we're long Microsoft, we're short AMD. Not a recipe for success because when the market moves one way, you're going to win on one and lose on the other. We did take Microsoft right here at 259. I thought that 258 was hella low. We are back in. We just got another average in here for Softy. This is the big one. If this loses, then AMD will win, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's just wait to see if we do take 258. It's where we were long early today. We're long again right now on Softy, 258 into this number. The market is flat. I mean, it's not flat off the move, but we're down 0.35 right now. There goes Softy to the downside. We're going to have to watch out for that. Hit the like button if you like what we're doing here. So far, so good
live.
here. Yeah, go over to Brandon quick.
Quickly, guys, a couple of things. I remember I mentioned the economic projections going forward. First interesting note on that, core PCE seen 3.5% in 2023. That's higher than the prior, which was 2.9%, so a little bit negative. Down here, they reiterated once again the need for continued interest rate increases to control inflation. So a lot of the same comments that we were mentioning. Again, expect some hawkishness coming through here. Again, they're looking at 3.1 PCE inflation into 2023. That's higher than 2.8 on the last one.
Yeah, well, obviously, I have a long and a short, so I got the Intel short. That's great, but Meta is down here at 120, putting it to the tester. I got quarters, so I'm about flat on the trade, but I have taken some legs out. They're going to ring the register on Intel. I was able to wait and get 70s. It was down at 60. I said, let it come back into you. I was able to get some 70s in there. 67 was my second entry. Got 60s and 50s out. I'll play a short of the pop, but there you go, Meta. Meta catching a bit of a bounce. We said rubber band action. What that means is you get a bit of a liquidity vacuum into the downside. Catch bids off of what are key levels, and I'm zooming out so you can see this in the morning. We bounced 120s on Meta. That's why I got the long over here. What just happened? I tried to zoom in. That's what just happened over here, bouncing off 120. I'm going to get some more out as it gets toward 121. Remember, this was a move to the downside initially, and we want to play inside the range, play off key levels at this moment, because 230 is when you generally get the trend. So I don't want to get caught thinking, oh yeah, you got a bottom here, just hold on to it forever. I don't think it's quite that simple.
It is not. Yeah, this has been a move today, man. Microsoft, let's take another piece out. We've been averaging in. Look at AMD, man. There's that 70-50. Brendan said, what's the trade? I'm like, breaking 70-50. So we're short 70-50 right now. Our best out, 69.70. But we were in more trouble with our Microsoft trade here. But we were able to get a good buy down there at 257 and then some out right here. So these are negative trades. But as we get back up to the upside, let's see if we can go now. We're long at 258.37. Again, I don't like what you're talking about there, how they changed there, the expectations.
Yeah,
that's not great, but we have to keep going back to Brendan. There it is. Nice little move up for Softy. I'm at 258.90 hopefully here for a big win. My net's pretty much where it was before. We have Carvana short. We have this. We have Brendan with some news.
All right, it's mostly about this economic projections here, guys. Here's another one. GDP growing at 0.5% in 2023. That's down from 1.2% in the prior forecast. Here's your red line statement. Yeah, there's nothing. It's literally two words that are different and some decimal places. That's it. Everything else, exactly the same.
So my first thought was that if no language changed, that was a bit bearish, because there was some talk, at least I read a couple of things this morning, when people thought they might back off from some of the wording regarding the pace of hiking, because it was like ongoing, and if they didn't take out the word ongoing, then that did mean they were signaling some kind of a slowdown. So I kind of feel that's a little bit bearish. That might mean I'm going to reload some Intel if I get the chance. That's where I like that short. I'll try to get some 2870s there. Tesla, beneath 158 was a pretty big level for me, so I think I might go back to shorting that. I was shorting it at lunchtime, and then it broke out. I know Luca had a good one short, I think at 160. But that 158 looks like it could be a bit of a range that I can play. I want to know where I'm wrong, because we have time until Powell hits the podium, and you understand things are very likely to change at that moment. You can get a big move that sometimes reverses the entire move or takes out a fresh low. So I got to know where I'm wrong. I think Tesla 158 gives me a fade where I can short into it.
All right, so we'll take one more out if we get to 259.50 or so on Microsoft. We've really done well we haven't done well. We did fine because now it's back upside. We're in the money now, 90 cents on this trade. But it did go against us. We had to average it in. That's why, it's pretty dirty right there. But AMD was pretty clean. I mean, this was 70.50 all the way to the downside. We got about 80 cents there, and it is still moving down. So I'm pretty happy holding on to what we have right now. We do have Carvana. I'm almost, I know, it might be time to take Softy out. I do agree with some of you traders, and that's why I literally just did that. I mean, I just made a mistake and got it out a little bit early. Now look where Softy's going. Here we go, $1.30 now in the money on Microsoft as it rips back up. As I look, man, my net is at the same spot it was at before this, but we did buy Microsoft at that bottom, 257. I thought 258. Remember, I was like, this is a great price for Microsoft. That was the problem. We bought on a little bit there at 259, but then we got it 258.50, and then we got it 257. Just brought it right back to where it was earlier. Like I said, anything that dipped that I liked long, just like you were talking about Meta, anything that came into where we were this morning, I mean, that's a buy for me, especially if you've already shown your hand that you want to go to the upside. That's a buy. So if Powell comes to the podium and says anything positive, Microsoft's going to 263, 264. So let's hold on to this as much as we can. We're still in this Carvana short, which is at day's low as well. That's down to $5. That's a monster win for me today, Carvana. What's up, Brendo?
So the median view now, looking forward, guys, into the end of 2023 here, 5.1% versus 4.6% back in September. Remember, we're now at 4.5%. Essentially, with this 50 basis point increase. So whether they go 25 in February or 50 in February and just get there already to that 5.1 or split it up into the next two remains to be seen. But we actually just saw the 25 basis point for February actually drop slightly, and indicating it's been 50-50 right now, but indicating both 25 and 50 in play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously that's a little bit bearish when you talk about that eventual terminal rate. For now, at least going to the upside and above 5%. I can more or less cancel my offer to try to get 158s on Tesla. I can more or less forget about adding to the Intel short. 28.75 looks hilarious now. 28.55, 28.60, maybe we're able to catch something there. And even Meta was working to the long side. It's coming right back to my entry point. If it can't hold 120 now, I'm willing to give it up and get wicked out and just kind of play the direction to the short side and see if we actually bounce off these lows. So it's all well and good. Like, we've managed to still hold the lows on Meta. Meta's still green on the day, believe it or not, but that's pretty bearish of a look. And I did miss out on the chance to jump into some Tesla there. Unfortunately, Amazon's another one. That 93 level, it just feels like all roads lead to 93 on Amazon. Now I'm hunting for a 92 on any kind of a bounce. I still want to play the inside of the range. But yeah, there goes Meta. We're beneath 120, so I'm now, there you go. You saw it live, right? Like, Meta broke 120. I was just watching Amazon to see if I could look for a place I could catch a bounce, and that's me stopping out of the long of Meta. So the bounce play, I got what I wanted, and why am I short? I don't want that. I must have had 2 stops. I can get out 120 anyways. But I had the short idea that I liked. I tried to put on 2 of them late. Wasn't able to jump into either one of them. I think if we get any kind of a bounce, I'm going to look back over to those names, being Intel and Tesla, to be able to play some shorts. Amazon, maybe we'll be able to get some 92s. But I feel like I could just be net short something like an Intel at least until 230. Right, and then looking for other entry points. If you've got something good, I should be looking at Intel right now for you guys. It rolled over pretty decently, was able to get at least a bit of a pullback. It doesn't look like a pullback on a 3-minute, but it did bounce off 50s and then give me a pullback into 28.70. If I get that price again, I'd be thrilled. But at this point, I'm looking for 28 bottoms.
Yeah, while you were talking there, we just bought some more Microsoft basically at these bottoms. We've been getting it out at the top. Like, we've been making money here buying these bottoms of Microsoft. I'm trying to play it off, this 265.50 to 256.50 where we were before. Go. I'm at 257.50 right now, hoping to get a fill. Let's go. 10 more cents up, and we'll have a nice little 60-cent win here for Softy. Ooh, it just bounced. It's bouncing off my level. There it is. Yes, sir. Good little trade idea here as we hold on strong, hopefully, to these levels, man. There it is. Like, look at that bounce and look at it make it move right back down. So we're hanging on by like the skin of our teeth. If this breaks through 256, we're gone. We've made money sort of coming back and forth with this. We're holding on to our AMD short. The market is down. Yeah, we should put this. We turned him over to a bull, and now it's very, very bearish as the market turns 1% red.
Let's give it to Powell before we.
Oh, yeah. I'm not throwing in the towel yet, but the market turned around pretty good, man. I mean, no matter what we think about these equities, this is what the market looks like. It's a straight move to the downside. That's why, man. I mean, if you have one trade on, I hope it's AMD, because this is the one that I gave everybody. Short 70.50. I mean, we're still in it right now, and it's $1 in the money. So this has been an easy trade. Microsoft, tough trade, but I'm not done with this. I still think we can go back up to the upside. I'm waiting at 258 right now. Get a nice little bump up, see if we can make $1. Here it goes right now. I mean, this is nice. This is nice, Softy. I might see about getting something out in the 60s if we can. Right now, go. 10 more cents. Oh, I missed it. 257.50 it's bouncing off of right now. That's going to be a good look. Is there anything else that you guys are looking at here? I mean, we're in the same names.
Amazon,
Tesla, maybe?
Tesla just bounced off the low, so that double bottom from yesterday has now turned into a bit of a double, I guess a triple bottom technically. So 156, I got to zoom out so you guys, there you go. Yesterday's bottom 156.80, and now we're looking at a double bottom 156. So a lot of support showing up there at that 156 low. I still want to be taking a shot fading in front of that 158. So as it bounces here, I am favoring jumping into a tight stop short off that 158 level. And if we can, look, if we get back down to the lows, I got out of Meta, and that 120 has actually reclaimed itself, and we're right back into the upside. So as far as I'm concerned, like, I could have just held on to it, but that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure I was holding on to what seemed like the directional move that was going. And now that we get a pop, I'm going to look to fade into some Intel and into some Tesla. If we get Amazon, I don't know if Amazon's going to pop enough to get me an entry there.
Pop.
And if you're watching some of the meme names, I was looking at GameStop. If it had continued its run, that obviously did not happen. And Mullen, I'll get to Mullen at some point, but maybe when things calm down.
I mean, we kind of did it again. Right now, Microsoft, $1.50 now in the money right here, as we are now up more than we were heading into this event. So far, so good, man. I hope you guys are as well. We went over to the strong name just like Neil did with Meta. I went over there with Softy. I gave it to the bottom of the move, and I actually bought the bottom there. So I have 3 bottom ticks here on Softy, and I was just giving it to 256. So it would have been disastrous, but again, my average price was 257.30 or so. So to give it down here is $1.30. We're now in the money at $1.80. So far so good there on the risk to reward, as it's just blasting to the upside. We're already out at 2/3 of our AMD trade. You know, I was sort of holding this as a kind of a hedge against Microsoft, but I have way more shares of Microsoft, so the hedge isn't super effective right now. But look, it's Softy. Go. Wow, this is now $2 in the money on Microsoft. I'm going to sit at 259 and get some out. If we can get an 80 print right now, give it to us, and then we'll just wait for Papa Powell. Like, if he comes out and Big Papa pumps this thing, then I don't know where we're going to go from here. So shout out to Scott Steiner if anybody watches WCW right there. So Big Papa pump. There it is, man. Bang, we got it as well. There it is, man. We can now sit back, relax, sip some cognac, man, and just wash this money through the laundromat, because that's what it is right now. Nice trade here so far, and it's just going. Good, I like that you guys like that. They're Big Papa Pump. That's a good one. But there we go. Nice move. We're just sitting back now and relaxing. $1.90 in the money on this Microsoft trade. Look where we just got out, 258.80. Like, that's how violent these names are. We just bought down here, 256.50, out 258.80. So that's almost, that's $2.30 from the very bottom, but it's an averaged in price. So yeah, there it is, man. Maybe Tesla.
Come on.
Maybe Tesla.
Oh, I did get Amazon there. Tesla didn't get to 150. I gotta look at my chart again. I thought maybe it did get to 158. But anyways, Amazon got to 92 there. I was able to get 91, 94. I quickly, the first move down after it touched 92 and slammed down, the first move was to 75. So I scalped some out at 75. I was waiting for a pop to get more intel, but I didn't end up getting more intel. I ended up getting into Amazon. It looks like Tesla. Yeah, I don't know. You guys, if somebody had the level 2 up of Tesla when you were watching, I thought it didn't get to 158. I'm like, oh, Amazon's close enough within 5 cents. Tesla got to 157.88. So I think I missed the boat. That's probably on me. I guess it got close enough to 158 that I should have put that short on as well. So shorting the pops has worked out here. I wasn't, like I said, I was not able to add to Intel. Unfortunately, didn't quite get close enough to 28.60. So I'm going to hang on to this one. Going to hang on to Amazon for now. I do think it makes some sense to ring the register on any positions inside of this range until 230. So I'm always scalping some out. I want to rinse and repeat off level if I can. Right now you've got a huge volume bottom breaking support, and then trying to reestablish that previous support level is now turned into resistance. So if you put in some higher lows, you could absolutely jailbreak and get right back up to 93. We've seen that before on a Fed move. So always scalping some of the initial move out, just so that this can't really turn into either a mess or a losing trade. I want to make sure that that's going to be the case. And then I go back over to Meta, probably too bit of a quick of a trigger finger to get out at the bottom there, but I don't mind doing that. I did decide that I wanted to be on the south side of it, at least close enough to 230, and then I can reevaluate at that point. So far, it's worked out with Amazon and Intel. We'll see what happens, because a lot can change in 14 minutes when Powell takes the podium.
Yeah, that's why, guys. I mean, you know, we can celebrate all these victories and everything all we want, but yeah, like Neil said, things are going to change pronto right now. So I'm still in everything. I mean, we've gotten a piece out of our Microsoft, and you know, that's still moving around. Let's check out on Apple maybe. The futures are kind of doing nothing right now. I mean, we did have a big move down in the futures, obviously on that play, but you're still okay on the NASDAQ. I mean, it was a nice move. We've been down here before. Down 0.6 is nothing. You are going to get a lot more action when Powell speaks, so that's really what we're waiting for. Apple's just going to follow the market, so you know, big move down, big bump up there for Apple, and then now sort of, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more here, and now sort of just chilling out there at 144 top Apple. Again, I would love that break. Like, this break looks great on a 1-minute chart. You know, comes down, makes a move, back up, hits 144 again, coming down. Then if it goes back up and takes that, I think that's good enough. But again, you know, you're, like you just said, you're 12 minutes away. Brendan's going to continue to listen and read those notes and see any analyst upgrades or downgrades on the economy or anything like that based on what that release is. So if anything else comes out, we will look at that. You've already talked about Tesla. Roblox is on one a little bit right now, up 3+% for Roblox. Oh, I found out what NF is. It's a New Zealand futures product.
Oh, no way.
Exactly. So thanks for including that in the software. But I mean, what is, I don't know what we'd be trading in New Zealand. That'd be so, it's probably the future, like literally the futures for that market. But there's Roblox, nice bottom of 32 and change. 32.50 right there for Roblox, nice bottom. That's where we went to. Now you're trying to take out the top. Watch out for this trade too on Roblox. 34, look at the 20-minute chart. You take this 34 and it is a good move to the upside, at least 35.50, I think. That's a big move if we take 34 on Roblox. So I'm going to watch out for that. Again, tough to use stop orders right now because the way this market's moving, like Powell could say something, rips to 34, then the very next question is different and comes right back in again. So I like that 34 break there on Roblox. Like we said, Brendan's going to come in when he hears something. What's up?
So while we wait here, guys, we have 12 minutes or so to go before we get Fed Chair Powell. Here is a look at February going into next year. As I mentioned, it's 50-50, right? So this is 50 basis points. This is 25 basis points. And this would be a full 75 basis points. So a bit of a toss-up right now between which it will be. I also just saw that Fed funds futures are pricing in a terminal rate around 4.9%, which is actually slightly higher than the last Fed meeting. So remember, a lot of people talking 5 to 5.25 being the ultimate point. And I'm sure we're going to hear Fed Chair Powell say higher for longer, more increases needed, all the right keywords, guys.
Yeah, we're likely to see, oh, the position war went away. So
what?
There we go. I just have to take a fill.
No positions.
I know. Essentially, sometimes I guess it resets, but I have to take a position or take a fill somewhere to get it populated again. But one level that I'm not going to ignore much longer here, and I'm absolutely kicking myself over this because we're going over bottoms in significant bases. And NEO at $12 is the definition of one. It's bounced off 1205 yesterday, this morning, and just now. So, and look, the daily chart's going to show you even the $12 here on the 50 period on the daily. It's a monster floor. Even going back into last week, you've been bouncing off $12. You can tell I like the $12 level on NIO, and that's going to include if it does break to the downside. So if we do get direction move downside with Powell, like let's say he says something that causes it to go bearish, then I like this breakdown on NIO. Until then, it's support that I should be respecting. So I'm going to pop it, just make sure I have a level 2 up so I don't miss it. We get down to 12. I don't mind scalping off that low. 02s, 03s, 04s, 05s, those longs in front of the even, and then a reversal. Going to be well worth it for me. But I'm hanging on to the two stocks I have short. I want to respect the fact that I got it too early on Meta for that long. I can't use a 15-minute on Amazon. I wanted to show you guys. There we go. I just wanted to show you guys, if we break the bottom on Amazon, 91s, there's a lot of room to next support down at 87.50. So this is one that I did want to be short this and sort of hang on to it going into 230. It doesn't mean I'm not going to stop out if we get well above 92s, but I do want to hang on to this position even if we get to the low of the day. If there's a trend down, this is one I feel should have some room to go. If you still got an expensive PE, then after any kind of a Fed decision, if the direction is down, I'd rather be short a stock that's trading at a pretty expensive multiple. Amazon's is still, pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, Amazon's multiple is.
It was. We just looked at the other day,
price earnings ratio. This is Tesla's 51. I'm trying to get out. I'm going to call up Amazon here. This is courtesy of Trade Ideas, of course. Shout out to Michael Noss, who I'm sure is watching actually. Here it is right here. Yeah, 83
yeah, that's ridiculous.
on Amazon. That's you're not going to find it too much. And I made a joke about this earlier. I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
It's the same thing.
This might be its all-time low for PE. Honestly,
It's always been ridiculous.
You know what? Is there a PE tracker? That would be kind of cool, Michael Noss, if you guys had that, where you can sort of see where the stocks are moving based on its previous and past PEs. All right, so as AMD continues to go down, we do have more shares on Microsoft, so my attention's here. I have an offer now at 40 to get out. I am long. There it is. Oh, wow. Fed raises rates. I like that. Put that back on there, Lucas. Why not get that back on? There you go. Fed raises rates. There it is. If you're joining us, thank you so much for joining us again. As the Feds have raised rates, and Neil and I are both in position. I'm 2 shorts, 1 long. Neil's got all shorts, I believe. So we will see in only 7 minutes. We'll see what Fed Chair Powell comes out. And on that note, I'm just waiting to scalp out one more piece. Like, it's bouncing too much off 258.40. We are long. I'm long Microsoft. I know you don't see the board. Maybe I'll just get out here at 258. It doesn't. I don't want to give up 40 cents though, but to be honest with you, but I'm long 256.50. This is my long down here. So if you're looking and you're like, well, maybe I should just get out. Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I want to see. I want to see what comes through. This could turn into a loser, and that would be brutal. And if that happens, that would really suck. But I am waiting for that number to come through, for Powell to start speaking before I do anything. I decided to get something out here, and maybe I was waiting a little too high for 40s, but 40s is literally the top. Let's put it in the 20s in case we do get a little bit of a rip. But right now, the market's coming to the downside, and guess what else? AMD is now lower than any spot we got out. So we are still short AMD 70.50. This is the call that I'm most proud of because I really only gave one. I gave AMD short 74 if that came in. Didn't. It went down. So there's the 70.50 and then the Tesla 161, but that didn't come in either. So we really just had an instant downside move, and now you're starting to fade even more. This is like 7 or 8 candles. Barring that one in the middle, it's basically since the last 10 minutes, it's 10 straight down candles for AMD. So I know we have the short right. It's just a matter of, is the long going to kick in once Powell comes through? So thank you. Did we talk about this super chat already?
No, we did not. We didn't.
So first of all, I can super chat this out right now, but it should say Santa is real. So I think you have a mistake there. Santa is real, and he wears red. So thank you so much to DC Chan for that. That means a lot to us. The super chats literally mean everything. That's why we're here, to put on a good show. And hit the like button if you're not super chatting, or subscribe, or do both, or all 3. Let us know that you like the show and the stream. So there it is, man. Let's go. Maybe we get this Microsoft move to 257.20. I'm making the move. 258.20.
Yeah, we're pretty much at near the low of the day. I wanted to say low of the day on Intel, but it's not quite there yet. Amazon's about 50 pennies from the low of the day. I'm going to try and hold through it, but I promised I'd get to Mullen. Some of these small caps might not care as much about what's going on in the overall market, so it's essentially bounced off VWAP, and it was a perfect bounce off 24 cents, and is now resuming course back to the upside. So I do want to acknowledge it. I said in the chat before we came on, I think you guys were talking about it in the midday show. Fantastic job, by the way, Sharif and Luca, about some levels in there. I was looking at 33 on the daily for something like Mullen as a spot I might go short, but I'm looking now at this 24. If there's another chance to dip by it, I had to dip by it with too tight of a stop this morning, and that's the problem. If you don't have enough conviction, and I didn't, I was long in front of 23 cents and gave it less than half a cent worth of risk, and then it ends up going up. I'd rather give it some more room and bounce off of this 24 level. So I'm going to get on the bid down here on Mullen. I do expect that we will see some whipsaw action in the overall market. I'm not saying it can't move Mullen, but I'm kind of looking at this to potentially buck the trend if we do continue to the downside here, as this has been strong all day.
All right, just an update here. In my opinion, be ridiculous to put on any new positions right now because we wait for the Fed to come and take a spot. So we're going to wait for that. But I also do think it is silly there. We've shown interest in Suedo, apparently. Is he?
Johnny Suedo.
Is he really super old?
Yeah, he's old. Plus, too, the Blue Jays, I mean, we harassed the crap out of them in the playoffs back in, like,
I remember that.
2017. Like, we had a Suedo chant going on to get him off of his game. I don't know if he'd like that.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd like that.
Quickly, guys, just seeing a note from Elon Musk just tweeting about advertising revenue in general being lower industry-wide next year. So there was a little bit of a downtick, actually turning back up right now, but there was a bit of a downtick on some social media stocks there. Meta, Snap popped up as well.
All right, what's up, Rolling Records? Yeah, the reason why we went TQQ is because we don't pay any, excuse me, we don't pay any borrow costs here, so to go long or to go short doesn't matter one way or the other to me. So I always like to go, the same way of the market. So that's why I take the TQQ is just the NASDAQ. So I can offer here just as easy as I can go and trade SQQ. So we don't have any borrow costs associated with TQQ. So that's why I got that question yesterday as well. I believe I answered it when we had CPI. I will just trade this, just because then when the market's ripping, I want to be long, and that's it. It's just a matter, like, because I look at our blotter and mine's all red when I'm in a red position and green when I'm long, right? So for me, visually, I'd rather trade.
You make less mistakes that way.
Yeah, I just rather trade. And that's so funny because I actually got involved with TQQ the wrong way by accident last time. So
every trader's done that once in their career. I guarantee you've done it.
I just did it live on the show, that's all. Okay, so hopefully, I almost feel bad about getting out of Softy. We're not out of it yet. It needs to go another 30 cents to the upside, and then we'll get out of a piece. But I mean, for me to be long, I'm long. You don't see it at the bottom, but I'm long 256.50. Like, in order for me to, to be responsible about this trade, like if it comes back into this area before Powell, which it's doing right now, I almost think I just take a piece out right now, and then not even. I mean, what am I doing? Like, if this doesn't go and then tanks when Powell steps up, and I'm like, kind of being frugal here, about 20 cents. It's already made a nice move back up. Come on, Microsoft, don't let me down, Mr. Softy. You know you're my favorite. Come on, buddy. All right, forget it. You're not my favorite anymore. I'm going to get out at 258. Hopefully it rips up there. I just put an offer. Oh, no. You are my favorite, You are my favorite. Right up there to 258. Let's see if we get that fill. Like, again, I was waiting for 258.40. That didn't happen. I missed that by 20 cents. Now I'm waiting for 258.20. Did I just miss that by 10 cents? So I'm going to get a piece out here on the way back up. See, now it's just, that sucks. But I still think I get it. So here we go. Let's go, Softy. Now we're 10 cents away from getting filled. Oh, anyways, here it goes. Let's just get out of that one. Now we only have 1 minute away, Neil, before all of this won't matter. The market, come on. Yeah. 2 pennies away. All this won't matter. Let's go. There it is. Yes, sir. All right, there it is. We'll drop down some money there as we get out, and now the positions will populate. So there's an out. We take another $1.50 on that one. Now I'm comfortable, man. I have double the shares in Microsoft long that I have short AMD, but one's a $70 stock and one's a $250 stock. So I'm much more focused here on Microsoft with Powell coming. I don't expect the market to move instantly. He's actually got to speak. So when he starts speaking and he starts saying something valid, then it should move, but you can see the market right now, the velocity of some of these trades coming through, starting to pick up right now. Like, good thing we got out, right? Look where we are right now. We are breaking the bottom of 256. If Powell comes out and throws some cold-ass water on this, man, we will take a 50-cent hit on the last piece. No more averaging in on this. Let's see what happens, and here we go. If you haven't enjoyed it yet, hopefully you will soon, because it's going to be fireworks in a little bit of time there. Softy equals Microsoft. That's right, Lone Sophos.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely right. Looks like immediately we're starting to head to the downside, as I'm assuming he's taking the podium if he's on time. I'm watching Tesla here, but it's Amazon that I'm in, heading back to that low. I'm looking to hold it through the low of the day. Intel as well. These are two that I happen to have on watch. It's about to bounce down toward its low. A lot can change. I mean, it just takes one word, one phrase, one response to a question, and you're bouncing off those lows and considering trailing stops, things of that nature. If we hold the bottom, I do still like Meta. That's where I'm going to be looking for the long again. I didn't hang on to the Meta long because I positioned myself short after it looked like that was going to be, the direction. There was no follow through the bottom, and I got out. But I still like that 120 area. The low, 119.75. Actually, the low of the day was beneath that, so 119.25. We never actually broke the low at all on Meta. Brendo.
All right, he is just beginning, guys, so we'll bring any updates as it happens, but just reading through the speech now.
All right, good. So the speech, prepared speech, he's going to be dropping that. We'll see what happens right now. My eyes are on the TQQ. Forget about Microsoft. I'm waiting for a move to happen right now in the TQs. I mean, it's not even about blasting that level, but this is not a bad one, man. 22.17. I'm going to put that in. If we blast up higher, I just want to be there for it. So let's try that play here. 22, this high break right there, just in case Powell comes on and is like, yeah, let's dance. There's the 50 period here. He has been dovish before. I mean, I feel like, I don't know what I feel like. I mean, we'll wait to see what Brendan says, and I'll base my opinion more on fact than emotion. So if it does come in there, that's 222. It's just a good high there, 22.20 for the TQs. If it does come through, we'll have that. I'm not worried about breaking lower. I have my Microsoft outs, and I'm already holding AMD, so I'm fine if it breaks lower. Really no skin off our back, but won't be nice if that does happen. Tesla, 52-week low. Tesla's at its lows right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And it's a 52-week low. So, hey, man, if you want to pick your poison, Tesla might be the right one. I mean, I know right here on the 1 minute, it's not. Its 52-week low is down here, but its past 52-week low is 157. So you're breaking it right. That's what I'm sorry, I didn't say intraday low. Last closing low is right here. And it's, in fact, just to give it to you what it was, previous to this, 156.91. was the low. So previous to today. So you take that out again, man, this could be in a big time trouble. I've already canceled all my stop orders. I thought not for stocks that I'm not in. I still like a 160 break higher if Tesla can get going, but that's $3 away right now.
Yeah, the only stop that I have out right now is still going to be that it's NEO at $12. That's a level I do like. It's at 12.10. I'm tracking that one. I want to take the short if it breaks that level. I'm kind of open to the idea of going long in front of it and then reversing. And Meta, really, I think Meta would just need to break this channel. If the market doesn't come down to me to this 120, to the previous low, then I might just have to look for a consolidation break up, which we're not breaking out of the range yet. We're still inside of the range, both in the futures, and I'll just show you this way so I don't have to get away from the stock that I'm watching here. We're still in the bottom end of the range. We had the initial flush, and then all we've done is sort of hang out after bouncing off yesterday's low. So it's not as if we've gone too crazy here, and I do want to be patient. Hang out in the money in a couple of shorts. I know where I'd like to go long, break channel up Meta, bounce off the low in Meta, and that's more or less it. We'll see what happens at 12. I don't know if I get that Mullen at 24 cents. If it comes in, I'll let you guys know, but we're focused on the big tech and the bigger cap names here at this moment with the market moving.
For sure. I mean, that's what we got to be right now. The U.S. dollar index as well, trying to move around a little bit here. I just called this up on Market Watch right now. A little bit of a spike up right now on the U.S. dollar. That's going to create a nice little downside move on tech names. So we're going to watch out for the Dixie here, DXY there for the dollar. So we'll wait to see. But there's 2 o'clock. Here's the spike right back up to the upside. We just got out of Microsoft, so the market must be tanking
we're coming down
right now. Nice little downside. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's why we get out of Microsoft. I don't know what he just said. U.S. economy has slowed significantly from last year. Let's go, Brendo.
They're talking about the employment market, guys. Basically, no change, he's saying, since the beginning of the year. Remember, that's one of the keys they want to see is not only the demand slowing, but the participation slowing. And he just said neither have happened yet.
We're now through the low of the day on Meta. I'm not ringing the register on this. It's an absolute fail for the market to the downside. What I will look at right now is the bottom here on Intel, because it's at $28. There's been a significant level for me on Intel. I go to the daily chart, but I don't want to get away from it. It's pretty much the 50 period. No, I can show you guys. It's a 50 period on the daily, so I do anticipate Intel's going to catch a bit of a bounce here, and I want to get out in front of it. So I'm taking it out only because it's at the 50 period on the daily, which is a level I wanted to respect, and I'm shorting POS. We're $1.50 in the money on Amazon, but I just got into NEO, which broke $12 to the downside. So I'm out of one thing and into another, and we'll see what happens there. I got 98 short, so I guess I slipped an extra cent there when $12 broke. So I'm going to look for a bottom play here, but I'm only giving it to the previous high. Previous low, sorry, which is like 1205. I'm bottom picking here, shorting near the bottoms. You always have to be careful with that. Tesla also broke that low, by the way, so that one would have worked as well.
Yeah, okay, we can look at crypto. Coinbase is also low right now. We're $2 in the money on AMD. So if we're going to look at AMD levels as well, you are bouncing off 68. I think that's probably worth taking here, the 68 on AMD if it does get down to there. So I'm going to put a bid 68, close that trade out, and then look for new ones. But right now, that is a downside move. And there's us getting out of Microsoft, by the way, 256. So we lose 50 cents on the last piece. Good thing we took that out for $1.50. What's up, Brendan?
Pretty hawkish so far, guys. Risk to inflation weighted to the upside. That was the latest comment. And then inflation expectations remain well anchored, but that is not grounds for complacency. So as expected, pretty hawkish so far.
Yeah, I'm now asking myself if I should have just taken 90s on Amazon. The same way I was getting out bottoms on Intel there, Amazon bounced right at $90 and is now making its way back into the upside. I might just slip a bid down there. There's enough things I just got back into, well, I got into NEO, and I'm actually looking to get back in on any pop to maybe 2840, 2830 on Intel. Want to favor the short side there. Meta was the one stock that if it could hold the low, I wanted to jump back in on the long. It just held the low now. So 119.25 was the low of the day-ish. It was like 30s maybe. And I just saw it bounce off 119.45. So it looks like Meta has held the bottom pretty successfully. And I'll jump back over in front of that low of the day. If it makes a fresh low, at least I know where I'm going to be wrong.
Yeah, we actually just took a Meta long, so we are long Meta right now. Let's see how far this can go back up to the upside. Let's take a piece out for 70 cents or so if we can get it. We're long Meta right now at 119.90. We'll see if we can get this up into the 40s and take 50 cents, into the 40s there. But yeah, this could continue to drip down. I am looking at Meta too off 119. I'm going to give it to that bottom. You know, it could be a good long, could be a good short. But Meta right now, I know I like this name as it is still flat on the, let's go. Holy shoot, there it is right there. Let's go, a nice little win for Meta right there. We just put it on, and that's 50 cents clean. So we just took a clean 50-cent win there on Meta. Let's see where it goes now. AMD is retracing back upside right now, but that's a clean win for us on Meta. We did get out of Softy. That was a good play to get out of that. I think 69. If we go back up through 69 on AMD right now, we're still $1.50 in the money, but again, 69 take on AMD. I think we'll be able to get out of that. So let's just get out. If it breaks higher, that's fine. It's a great trade for this short, as we called 70.50 for you. So it's $2 in the money off the call. Good, hopefully good for you as it was for me. And then Meta again. Like if we can get it. I don't even want to get out. Like, if Powell says anything positive, this thing goes back to 123. So, I mean, what am I going to take you know what? Let's take a 122. Let's cross our fingers, close our eyes, and see if Meta can't get back up to 122. Good Fed day so far. What's up, Brendan?
All right, so in case anyone was wondering, he's just reminding everyone that a 50 basis point rate hike is still large, even though it's not obviously 75 basis points, but he's also saying we still have some ways to go on rate hikes.
Okay, I mean, yeah, so not a heck of a lot there, but I want to look for some new names, obviously. But you want to make sure you're paying attention because something is a comment that I think would move the market, or we think will move the market. You want to know what's going on. I want to watch Google here, Alphabet, I should say. That another stock has held the low. I'm watching it above 94. This is where it broke out on the CPI number was $94. It's got a wick below it. So looking for places that I can go long, I think relatively confidently, and I'm going to like this level here at 94. I'll probably jump in at the quarter mark, and then, or just in front of the quarter mark, and then see if I can add to it on the way into that low. I'm just looking for plays that I like. The valuation, okay, fine. The valuation is much better than an Amazon. That's not the impetus for the trade. It doesn't really hurt as well that happens to be the case. I have not gotten back into Intel or added to it on the short side. I want to be very patient now that we're bouncing off some of these lows before I add to anything on the south side. And we'll keep talking about Tesla. I don't know if we've really gone over it. I don't know if either one of us has traded Tesla in the afternoon, but it has managed to reclaim that low. So it broke 156, got down to 155.30. Actually, we talked about 155 earlier and is now holding above that low. So that looks like it's going to be a decent level, 155 even on Tesla. If I see a big bid down there, this is not one of those situations where I would go long 155.01 in front of big size. That is an irrelevant trade when it comes to Fed day. There's days I'd put it on, but that's meaningless on a day like today.
Yeah, don't.
Size doesn't matter today.
Right. Yeah. Don't judge it because you see a big order, because that'll get taken out. Volume is not going to matter. I think that is accurate. All right, we are 70 cents in the money right now for Meta. I mean, it's going to be a good trade for us here. It is the only trade I've made on Meta all day. It came right in. Like I said, just like the Microsoft trade, just like AMD, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very support and resistance. That's the kind of trader that I am, trading off of support and resistance. So even on Fed day, try to respect that. Obviously, the moves are going to be a little bit greater. I'm sitting here at 121.50, the top of this. That's where I think this goes. Let's see if we can make $2, and then we'll hold the rest. Like, I think it's going to go up there. Let's wait to see. I mean, it just takes one more comment from Powell, and this thing is off right there. Good out.
Could just be that.
AMD. Bang, it goes down, goes back up to 69. We get out of AMD on the move back up. Let's see if Powell can take this. It goes to 121. Here it goes, 121.03, 121.04. Like Brittany says, we're doing it again right now, and we ain't sorry about it. It's a nice move to the upside. I got orthodontics to buy. I got glasses to buy. So this needs to go up. Let's go Meta. Let's go Jay Powell. You can still come over for Christmas, Jerome. Don't worry about it. Let's just say something positive and get this market back up to the upside. Just stopped at 121.
Yeah, I was just about to get a fill on Google. And this is the thing about liquidity, guys. Like, you'll see a stock move, like it'll start gravitating 25, 50 cents at a time. It'll go to a price and then just reverse the second any orders get thrown out there because there's not a ton of liquidity, and that's the way you see it in this market. So I'm just going to leave my order out there at 94.60. I might have said Meta. Google's what I meant. And see if I can get that. And it's going to try to track back into the low. I'm okay with the market going down. I have exposure to the short side, but I did not get back into Intel. So I'm holding on Amazon. That's still going to work. I like Amazon short. But as the market came up there, I tried to grab some Intel, and it never got to 28.25. I'm now just looking at this. If we're trending down after the speeches, and that's the way we're going to go, 28 break on Intel is just going to have to be it as far as I'm concerned. If I can't get 28.25, then the 50 period on the daily might just have to be the level to go.
Yeah, look, we knew we'd get stopped out a little bit there of our AMD, but we had to. I can't win long Meta and short AMD. That's just not going to happen. So we'll take our $1.50 on Meta. Sorry, we'll take our $1.50 on AMD, cash that out right there at 69 off of a 70.50. It has faded right back down into lows again as the market is trying to retrace lower. The good thing is Meta's holding up high side right now. Amazon, I mean, I want to find something to short just in case. I'm looking at Google and Amazon for shorts. Roblox, nice move, still up 2% as well. Roblox, what's up, Brandon?
All right, Q&A is underway here, guys. He was just asked whether or not 75 basis points will be, in fact, the top, because that's where we're at right now. If there's another 75 basis points, that would be the projected high anyways. And the answer was essentially they're going to take it meeting by meeting and look at the data and see what the data tells, and the same old answer. But everything we've heard to this point in the Q&A specifically has not been any different than the last meeting, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and like I said, I would just leave my order out there on Alphabet, and then it just floats up there as Brendan was saying that. It floats right back up to 94.75, and if we get another move back in, I'll try to get a better price down closer to the low of the day. I was just able for the first time to get more shares up there on Intel, and that's what happens when you reach. I end up with 18s. And it's gone right back into like that 29, 25 area that I like to be able to see. So we are headed upside. I only have one long, and that's going to be Google, but it's going to have to be the right one. Even Tesla's back at 180. Sorry, 158, not 180, 158.
All right, here it goes. Marissa, get the turkey ready. Powell's coming for Christmas. There it is right there. He gave it to us. There it is, 121.50. I have to be a man of my word. There it is. Nice move to the upside, 121.50 right there. I mean, you know, what are we supposed to do? You know, look where I'm long Meta, 119.80. Right now, long Meta just took another piece out, a third out, right here at 121.50. Hey man, you know, when you're trading and you're hitting these levels, it's all good. So, you know, trading can be tough for sure, but that's back to back Fed announcements that we've done really, really well on. So let's just continue that move. The funny thing is we make money on the long and on the short. There we short this name here, AMD, ding, 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 out, and then we go long on Meta. And Microsoft was positive, although we lost that trade right there. This was a positive trade for us. So yeah, so far so good. This is what it is. Thanks, Rolling Records, man. You are the man as well. So just thanks for watching. A couple good outs. Over to Brendan quick.
All right, guys, the market seemed to like that last comment there on peak rate. So he's essentially saying if the inflation data continues to be weak, then the peak rate could come down. If the inflation data goes back up, then the peak rate could go higher. But as we saw this week with CPI, inflation data trending to the downside. So the market seemed to like that.
Yeah, like that's sort of the thing. You're going back and forth, but we're still inside of the range. That's why both longs and shorts are working. If something is strong, it's not as if we've made a fresh low since 2:30 when he came on the podium. Yes, 2 o'clock, some of those lows have been breached, but this is 2:30, and this is us making a low on Intel, which I'm still short, by the way. And I'm still holding on to Amazon. I haven't really seen too much of a reason. I'm now in front of the bid here at 90, and the reason I think to get out of this would be if we cannot reclaim the initial bottom, and that was at $91. If it cannot get beneath 91 again, then I feel like I need to just get out of this one and start looking for some jailbreaks to the upside, which I don't think at this point is yet happening. You know, I'm still overall net short. I do have one long, and that's going to be in Google, but I have been favoring the shorts. The small caps, I think I'll just forget about Mullen. I'm going to set a trailing stop on this nonsense, this IMMX. It's beneath $2. If it gets low of the day, I'm out. If it breaks $2 to the upside, I'm out. I think that's the easy way to be able to play it. And then there's some meme stocks that have been making some moves here. I did say at some point I wanted to look at GameStop. This is completely giving it up. If the market trends lower, this could take out some lows as well. It was strong. I guess it's up 1%. I guess it's not all that bad. But this had been doing a heck of a lot of more going to the upside. I promised myself I would look, after things calmed a little bit, I wanted to look at Moderna. I'm not terribly proud of myself over Moderna today. Quite frankly, after having gotten the top at 218, I should be up on the day, but I took 6 swings at it, not 3, and 6 is too many times to go short in an upward trend. So unfortunately, even though I got some back, this stock's still up 7% and showing some signs of strength after bouncing off VWAP. So if you're tracking Moderna, this needs to hold 208 in a big way. That was yesterday's high. So some of the early movers even giving it back.
Yeah, I was looking. I mean, I'm trying to find some shorts here, guys. I mean, I think that's going to be the right play. I mean, Tesla's rate again back down to, I mean, Microsoft could be a short right into this 50 period. I'm thinking that's probably a good trade. That's going to be 257.50. I don't think we just got up there on Microsoft. MSFT, let me just double check. We do have a little wick up there. Yeah, it looks like it. Just confirming here with E-Signal. Looks like we might have just wicked up there. So that would have been a great short in for Softy because now you're negative 0.55. But we could find better names to short if we're going to be wrong. Wow, what an out that was there. $1 ago on Meta. You're falling back in again. I'll take this trade again on Meta. It's not, for me, it's not a problem to do that. 119, what am I long at? 119.89. Let's give it a little more love to the downside there on Meta and give it like a 119.50 or something like that. And then we'll take that going 119.50 on Meta. And then if it breaks lower, then, you know, we can get out on a 119 break. Right there. What wasn't working?
Well, the other day my cough wasn't working, and so I've stopped.
Oh, that's okay. I don't think anybody. That's fine. All right, so that's that. Yeah, that's that play. It is annoying, but I mean, well, it's not annoying. It's what it is.
We're live, man. It is what it is.
Google $94. Nvidia. Maybe Nvidia is going to be a good short here.
I meant. Is it below 180 still? I guess.
Oh, I guess so at this point. Yeah, 175. So right now it's well below 180 here for Nvidia, and there it is again. It just touched 177 as well.
Oh,
so
goodness.
there are going to be some good moves coming through. AMD went just high and low. Like AMD went right back, and now it's right back down to these bottoms again. This is probably a buy down here for AMD, although it's, you know, it has the opportunity to go, but it's like, do we want to let that even happen? That bottom is 68.30 right there. We could go short AMD on that break and then just wait for it to bump back up to get us out. I mean, that's not a horrible plan either. Take this bottom break here. AMD's down 5%. If the market wants to fall, this is a good name to look at. But again, there, look at this bump.
Is it another bounce?
I mean, there's the bounce again. So, you know, tough. Yeah, congratulations.
Play the range, man. Just play whatever range is out there, because I'm looking at Alphabet. It just bounced off that 94 once again, but it stalls right at 94.50. You know what? This time I'm just going to get out up here. I feel like if we're going to trend to the downside, then getting out and rinsing and repeating. I don't have to be net long. I can hold net short, but I can just completely cover longs and then wait for the next little play into the downside. If we break channel up, there's always going to be another opportunity to get back into it. And then I just go back over to Intel. I don't want to flip away because I want to get into this without moving away from it. So I want to get some more shares of Intel just added to that short as we go to Brendan for an update.
Just watch the upside here potentially, guys. He was just asked on whether or not a 25 basis point increment going forward is appropriate, to which he said, yes, it is appropriate to slow the pace at which they are raising, but he didn't actually go as far as saying it's going to be 25 basis points next time, but he kind of hinted in that direction.
It's like,
I don't know, I might disinvite for Christmas here. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that, but, you know, I want to make sure that we're clear on what we're expecting here, Jerome.
Offer rescinded.
Yeah, it's still there, but yeah, I don't know. It may get rescinded quite quickly. Okay, so, all right, just to review, AMD, I want to be on it, but it's not really doing anything. Meta did bounce back up, so look at Softy. A couple bounces down here to 255. That's a reload for me. If it comes back down, we'll take that long against the 254.50 or so bottom. But the market does look like it wants to come to the downside. Despite me being long Meta, that's $1 in the money and doing pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with Meta. But at the same time, I am aware that, you know, the market's been pretty much trending here lower. I mean, we keep every bounce gets faded. It's not the other way around. It's not like every dip's getting bought. I mean, you could look at it like that, but I feel like the moves are strong and then right back in, then strong and then right back in. That's what I'm looking at. Every single move up is like one candle followed by some selling. There's another one followed by a nice sell candle again.
Short the pops.
Yeah, that's what you have to do is short the pops. So, you know, on that being said, I was waiting for more shorts on AMD, but here we go. Now there's a downside move again. Maybe we do get this Microsoft long near 255. That could be a good long, and then we'll see if we can get it out, keep on getting it out until there's a direction. I feel like there's going to be I'm going to put on a big trade, I feel like, as soon as I know Powell's gone, because then I can review these levels and really hit it, and we're not so sensitive to a risk that quite simply is called headline risk, right? Headline comes out, he answers a question, and it's what the market wants to hear, bang, not what the market wants to hear, this way. So I almost want him to be gone, and then we'll let this momentum sort of fill out. But we're positive. I'm up more now than we were before this, so it's been a good trade. We made money on everything we've taken so far, and we're in money on Meta. So let's just wait to see my Carvana. I'm just holding that in case it flushes. I literally have 5% left.
Well, it's like the market came down off this. So if you're in a short, even if it's not going to fall, you might as well just hang on to it. That's what I'm at with that IMMX. But the second Brennan was talking about the market might go positive or might like this positively, I got filled in Intel that exact same second. However, right back toward the low. So you just rinse and repeat. I'm going to hit this one because it's football, fantasy football season, man. So we'll spike this as we're right back to low of the day. This is not the short that we put on at 2 o'clock. This is a re-entry off of the, I guess I'll call it the 2 o'clock bottom, and then there was the podium low, which is 28, for lack of a better term, and then it's managed to hold that original low as resistance.
I mean,
So, you know, I just want to play inside of this range until we start breaking somewhere, which I haven't been able to see. Like, I know I want to be more interested in Tesla. but I keep missing out. I'm always looking somewhere else. Intel and then Google was where I was looking when we get this chance at 158 on Tesla, but that's been just as good. Look at the 158 level on Tesla. Over and over again, it seems like it wants to reject this, and it's kind of diddling in the middle at this point. We still have 5-10 minutes until we get to power hour. Plenty of time for a trend to establish and break away here. I
just want to say, alarm, we just made $1 on Microsoft while Neil was talking. So, I mean, look at this dip buy. 255.40 Microsoft. You see it on the board. Look where we're going. Now upside. So here we go. We bought the dips just as we said we would. We're now long $1 in the money on Microsoft. So I don't know. Like, let's just hold this. We've got longs on Meta. We've got longs on Microsoft. And there, look at this move.
Oh my God.
Nice move to the upside right now. $1.50 now in the money on Microsoft. Just getting excited. Like, we just put this on literally a minute ago. And there it is now, ripping back up there. I feel like this is worth a scalp right there. So let's do it. Let's get 72s. And there it is right there. That's more than $1 right there on Microsoft. That's $1.30 on Microsoft we just made in literally 2 minutes, $1.30. We wait all day for $1.30. So there it is right there. Nice take. I don't know, like I said, Neil was talking, but I talked about buying low on Microsoft. It came in. I'm still waiting for lower, man. I was waiting lower. 255.20, 254.80. I'm there, but there's quickly in and quickly out. That's $1. Now we're almost at the highest spot we've been at all day. So yeah, this has been a good move. Thanks for joining us here today. Make sure, I mean, if you like the program, just hit the like button. That's it. Like, nothing else to do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe. It's been so far so good here. I mean, that trade really, I can't do much better than that. $1.50 in 2 minutes. So it's a good one. Doesn't mean there's not more action coming, man. Just trade the right names. Like Neil and I, you can see we're focusing on very similar names. Looking at that, my eyes keep going everywhere because I'm trying to look for more opportunities. So let's just keep on doing that right now. Bally's Casino apparently approved for Chicago. That should be interesting.
Chi-Town.
1.7 billion right there throwing down for Chi-Town. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Casinos bring crime.
Well, that's...
and
yeah.
Chicago,
well,
I don't know,
there.
man. Shout out to Barack.
I almost don't want to go there, but yeah, it's kind of... I don't think it can make the problem
Where's
any worse.
Barack at?
It can't make the problem any worse. But you know what? I guess if you're upset that the market's going down, at least if you bought Mullen today, you're in the money. And, well, I mean, if you bought the high of the day, I suppose you're not in the money. But it's got a double top at 27. I'm going to cancel. I'm not getting VWAP at this point. I mean, 24s. Am I going to get that? I don't think so at this point. But we can have a consolidation break up here at 27. If I think there's room to 33, I do want some exposure. I meant to go to the daily chart here. I do want some exposure just in case the market only trends down. Like, what can I even think about going long in that could continue if the market doesn't want to bounce too much? So 30 cents is the daily. Is this 50 period on the daily? 33 cents up here is the next resistance level. That's plenty of room on a 27 break. So I'll count me on board. I'll risk about a penny to penny and a half to go along 27 even if Mullen goes. I just want something else that's not, you know, there's nothing wrong with Intel. It's been pretty good for me. And I don't really mind trading these big cap names. But if we're going to have some opportunities for breakouts, it's still power hour, and Mullen is a bit of a mover. So I want to respect that it is there for us. Oh, I was just waiting at 24s on Intel, and it came to 21s. That's the thing about the range. Like, it's easy. Just because it printed that price before doesn't mean it's automatically going to give it to you. But I'm playing this between 28 and 28.25, and I'll continue to do so until it stops working, quite frankly.
So I was just waiting for Brendan to say he gone, Fed Powell right now, off that podium. As I look back, he's still on it right now. Because Microsoft, we already took it out. That was a good trade. I want to break longs. Excuse me. I want to start to break something long. I just don't know if it's going to be the right trade. I'm feeling long here. I know we're down 1%, and maybe feeling long is the wrong way. We are long Meta now, $1 in the money, 20 cents in the money on Carvana. Microsoft is now pulling back again. We will buy some of those dips, but we got to go to Brendan.
All right, futures pricing in, guys, it would look like anyways, some easing in the back half of next year. So he was just directly asked whether or not he sees any cuts coming in the back half of next year. In a roundabout way, he said, at this point, they have not made any decision outside of what's to come next month, and they will focus on that, and they're not worried about cutting at this point.
He didn't say no.
Well, yeah, he didn't say no.
I mean, what else are they supposed to say? Like, he's basically a politician. I know he's not supposed to really act like that, but I mean, what is he supposed to say? Like, yes, we are going to cut in the latter half of 2023.
Because he's not going to say that.
I mean, you know, the crystal ball, it doesn't really work like that. And I feel like if we continue on the same path, remember what we've had. We've now had, what is it, 3 or 4 straight CPI readings better than expected, or 3 maybe, I think, not 4, better than expected. So we got 7.1 yesterday versus 7.3. The time before that, we got a better than expected number, as maybe it's only twice. And then some of the reads are better, right? We have interest, demand going higher. Wow. I mean, I never thought getting out of Microsoft might have been a mistake, and it's not. We're just going to wait for it now. I'm just watching Meta and Tesla right now. But I sort of lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, it's just that, who knows? We have interest rates coming down a little bit now. Not really, but mortgage demand. We did see a drop again in mortgage rates for this past week, I believe it was. I read something earlier. And then demand increasing from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So that's going to be helping. Oil is easing back. We talked about that. Yep. Was at 52-week low just a couple of days ago, before yesterday or 2 days ago. It was with Arun, so it must have been 2 days ago. Oil was at that low. That's coming in a little bit. I don't know. Food prices still seem to be pretty high. I mean, checks, credit card, yes, still pretty high. So I don't know. I'm thinking that although numbers are getting better, they're gonna have to get a lot better if they're gonna want to try to cut. So I don't know if that's gonna be coming into play right now. As maybe Apple, I don't know, Nvidia is still down 3%.
Yeah, Nvidia's still down. Like, I actually just got maybe a bad trail there. I'm not in Amazon anymore. I don't know why it's still on the position board, but I just got what looks like a bad trail. So you'll see my price will be different if I get back into this. I'd rather be getting 92s again, but I just went to put in a trailing stop, and I probably keystroked it. So whenever that happens, my inclination is to just jump right back in. So it's just to kind of take the shares that Jacksonville got out back in, but I only had the one execution off 92, and I must have bungled the trailing stop on that one. So I didn't mean to be getting out of this unless it was breaking this channel, and that's at 91.80. So if it looks like, yeah, it is what it is. If it goes against me, this is just me getting back into the shares that I should not have got out of in the first place. We didn't actually. Oh, I did just get the fill on Intel. I was about to say I didn't get the fill on Intel, but I did get the fill on Intel up at 28.25. So this one looked kind of bouncing back and forth. Doesn't want to break 28 even to the downside yet, I suppose, but doesn't also want to break that 28.25. So I'm just going to continue to play inside of the range. The first 10 cents is a charm, so I'll go ahead and take that again. And if we get all the way down to 28 even, I'm still looking for a bottom break. That can be in play for me. So rinse and repeat. I don't know how many times we're going to be able to do this. Maybe it's you know what? There's always the possibility we don't break the range in either direction. I don't think we've seen that in a while, where after a rate decision and after Powell takes the podium, we don't then see a new top or a new bottom in the market. But it is possible, and you could just be sideways here. It's been a half an hour, and I haven't seen us break out of this bottom range.
I don't. Like, thanks for watching, first of all. I mean, we can't obviously control what exactly is about to happen. But, I mean, Tesla, like, I wish I could get into this. But, like, if you're trading this right now, I would say maybe you want to, like, slow down. I mean, you could trade it for a position, that's fine. But there's not really scalping in here without extreme risk, I feel. Like, how do you put on even 100 shares or something of Tesla in this environment? I feel like the risk is just too much for a blow up. And then if you're just scalping, you're going to be making like 30, 40 cents. Then the loss is going to be much bigger than that. Like, maybe it's a short if you get up to 158, but I don't, you know, I'm waiting for Tesla. I want to short it. I just waiting for it to move. And I just, like, if it takes this out, this 157, I mean, maybe if you short 156.80, that could be something against 157, but I'm biased long right now in this market. I'm happy that it's not tanking right now. And I mean, look what's happening right now. Siren's up for Meta, right back to the best spot again. Like, we're long 120 here on Meta. This is $1.50 in the money and still ripping up there. Look at our boy Softy. Like, what, did Powell just buy Microsoft himself? Like, this name just ripped. That's back up to 258 right now. So the market, I told you I was biased long. So there it is. I mean, pick those bottoms, man. That's what we've been doing. We've got Meta on board right now. I wait for, I know Neil, I just checked, like, I wait for him to leave, but why do we need him to leave? Look at this Meta trade booming to the upside. Metro booming. 122. Okay, another $2 winner now. So, hey, I mean, life is pretty good on this side. Let's just see if the market can get back to zeros, and then we'll, at that point, it's a jam. I mean, to be honest with you. So there goes Tesla. Look at Tesla. Right back up, Neil, again to 158.
Yeah, it's back at that 158. So this is the stop that should have been the stop on Amazon. So it does eventually stop out. But you got to be honest. Like if I get a bad trailing stop, I'm just going to get out of it accidentally, and I'm going to jump right back in at the same price. Now, obviously, I originally was at 92s, but that's 91.80. That's the level I wanted to get out. There was the break on Mullen. I do want to get back over to that because it happened. It broke 27. It got about halfway to 28. You're going to be scalping it as a penny stock. I think there's going to be some room. I want to have something on board. Even when it goes at first cent, I'll get some out and all the way up to what I think could be 30 cents. That makes sense to me that could be a bit of a level. The last dip gave you 26 even. So as I scalp some out there, I'm always willing to reload at that 26 price if it wants to bounce off it. And then I just go right back over to, it was Meta that I wanted for the breakout of the trade, and it just took out VWAP. Bit of a wick top there, but it's now breaking channel to the upside. Powell's not done, but I don't want that to get in the way. It doesn't. Maybe it doesn't matter. I was looking for a channel break on Meta. This was the first place I went to the long. I didn't hold on to it. I'm glad Sean was able to get it down at that 119. It got down to 119. That was the day's low. It never broke it. But now we're breaking channel up. And if we maintain this break, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't trend back into 123. I know exactly off support where I can get out of this one. Intel, I just want to get more short if it gets back up to 2860. Once that channel is broken, I'm looking for places to re-engage that short until it's above. Probably would have to break 29, to be honest with you. Brendo?
All right, so I think he's getting a little sick of answering this soft landing question, but he got it again. Whether or not a soft landing is now not possible, to which he answered, no. He didn't say that. So he's saying, yes, there is still a chance that we get a soft landing.
Okay.
Did I hear that?
That's positive. Right, soft landing is good rather than hard landing, I would think. So that sounds good for that. So we'll just continue to trade it the same way. I was actually looking for a 158 break on Tesla. We could have easily just shorted that. I almost feel like the market's going to blast up here as soon as Papa Powell's done. Like I just feel that there is some demand here to buy this market. Call me crazy. That it just dipped down to 157 there again. I was actually looking at a 70 long. We hit AMD. AMD was really just a banger of a trade right off that, like right off the number, man. Like bang, right there. Huge move to the down. Not huge, well, pretty huge actually. We took about $2 on that, about $1.50, sorry, on that move. Microsoft's been a great long off the bottom. In Meta, we have $2 in the money. So I'm actually looking for Tesla to break that 158, take the long. I think once it does, it's gone, but it has to do that first. Could be wrong on that one. We'll only give it back. This is going to be a $1 hit in one way or the other. Either breaks 158, I hold it for 157, and then we get it out at 160, something like that, go 2-1, or it breaks, we get long, and then it fails, and we get out 157. Either way, I've already done the math. Everything's good to go on Tesla if that happens, so we're ready to go for that. And then I do like an AMD break. Where is it? I do like an AMD break long 70. I just feel like, there's pent up demand here. It's just been coiling. If the market takes off, I think we take that 70. That top is 70.25. I almost think that's a better take, but I want to be in it a little bit early in case we do flip it to a long right now. So I like all those plays. I don't, I can't really find anything else. I'm already in the Meta long right now, and I don't really want to buy dips on anything. Shopify has been a good move. I just don't know which way this market's going to go when he's done. I feel like it's coiling to buy. So I'm long right now, and I feel like it's going to go longer. Maybe Shopify 39 on a break. That doesn't look that great. I'll find some more, but those are kind of the ones there. AMD break 70 I like, and then we're already long Meta, and I like Tesla break 168. The problem is, though, is that you're going to get into both.
158.
158, yeah. You're going to get into both.
I keep doing that with Tesla.
That's the problem. Well,
if we break higher, you're going to get into pretty much everything. Like, I just look back over at Alphabet, and it's like, okay, well, Alphabet's above 95 here. And I already got into Meta and looking to see if there's going to be a dip to play into. So I'm looking at this wick top on Meta, on Google here, and just seeing if it's going to hold 95 on the bid. If we bounce off 95 on this retracement, then I think this can channel break to the upside. But I mean, I just got back into Intel because like I said, I want to short every single resistance level on the way up. I'll have stops on the way, but I'm not completely convinced that we're continuing just yet. So I don't want to add by going into Google yet. I think it's one that can come into play for me. But even I don't mind. Like even Microsoft breaking 259. I know it's not there. It's not there right now, obviously. But just look at the consolidation and then reclaim a low of the day. Like breaking channel up, 259 sets up as a good break. But do I want to have Meta long in a break, take Google long in a break, and then add to Softy on the way up? Probably not. So I'm trying to narrow it down here to at least a couple of names. Mullen's still hanging right at 27. I scalped him out. Hasn't dipped enough for me to be able to get some more shares. But it also hasn't given me any pause as to the rest of that move. I thought I hit enter to be able to show you. It's just right back. Initial push goes to 27.5, and then we're kind of right back at the breakout price going sideways. So I don't want to rush into anything just yet. If it dips 26, I'll try to get some more shares at that point. Just hasn't happened yet.
All right, new trade alert. Advanced micro. 69.40 we're long. So there it is. We're long 69.42. We just took it. I was like, you know what? After I saw CDM there in the chat, he's like, he's triple long. He agreed with the long. I was like, you know what? Let's try it. I just don't want to be, I mean, look, if it goes to 70, then we win on this long. We're long right here. You can get long with me. I just want to try this back to 69. That's it. Like if we break back down below 69, we're out. We are going to average into this at 69 teens. So if this comes back down into the teens, we'll take our much bigger position, like our full position on this trade. So right now it's not even close. We're actually like at 10%. I should take a little bit more than that on this, because I just think that it is kind of a load up down here, because if we do get that break back to 70, it would be kind of cool to be long in all of this. But again, if we take 69, which is that, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you here. This bottom wick right there was 69. So like someone bought it, like it went down, someone bought it, then it came right back up. So I'm actually gonna change my stop to a little bit lower, maybe like 68.95 or something like that, because that wick was bought. Here it goes, it just went to 60 there. Let's see what happens with it, or 55. Let's see what happens with AMD. I feel like Brendan just said, man, this, no wonder why the market's not doing anything. If he keeps getting asked the same question and give the same answer, I don't expect much to happen. But Meta right now, there it is. There's the play that we wanted, man. There's the 122, right back to VWAP. I mean, this is what we bottom picked here on Fed, 119.78. Now a big one. There goes Tesla too. Tesla, Metro booming as well to the upside right now. So that's that break that we wanted. It's not going to be so crazy. Let's see where it goes from here. It just broke. That kind of popped in out of nowhere right there. I was just like sleeping, talking about the market. Let's see what happens there. Tesla on a move straight to the upside. We'll see if we can take 30 cents. There it is right there. Now let's go back up to the upside. We take out a third, just pay ourselves a little bit. There goes Tesla. We told you booming time. It's boom town right now. 250 in the money for Meta. It's 70 cents in the money for AMD. What's up, my guy behind me? There it is right there, 70.10. We just talked about AMD. Oops, Brittany. We did it again one more time. It keeps on going to the upside. And now it's $3 in the money, guys. $3 in the money. There, Neil, you're not a fan of Britney Spears, are you?
Absolutely not.
Boom.
There's a 0% chance I'm a fan of Britney Spears. It's not going to happen. I keep it real. I'm not one of those people that's like, yeah, because you're popular, I'm going to like you. Not going to happen. I like what I like, and I definitely don't like that music. But I did just we talked about 95. Google, Alphabet goes right up on that last little break. But you know what? Where I see levels, there's 94.40. There's 94.70 previous bottoms. Can always rejoin the move at any point you want. Now I'm in Meta, because Meta was the other break, and Meta was the first place I went. I Googled at 94, and now I have it again at 95. But Meta, that was the first place I went to long. And then when that channel broke to the upside, I took that as well. I just liked Meta a little bit more. That's why I'm going to still stay in this one. And I'll try to play some bounce plays. If we get any more dips on Google, then we'll go ahead and see if we can't get back into that one. If we're going to trend to the upside, there's usually ways to get back in. The other thing to consider, 12,000 on the NASDAQ. I'll just show the chart on the futures here. 12,000 on the NASDAQ has before been a bit of a level. It's not the high of the day, but it is a big resistance level. So I want to make sure I'm taking something out of a long in front of it as we get to that one. But I am going to hang on to Meta. I'll buy any dips that we can. NVIDIA, this is another one. 180 on NVIDIA about to come into play. That was a monster level on NVIDIA, and we're about to go clear through it as well. Don't forget Microsoft, 259. Brendan again?
Just to confirm, guys, there's nothing being said right now that's triggering this rally that I can see. It's more of a maybe what's not being said that's triggering this rally that the market likes.
Yeah. I mean, forget about whatever he's saying. I told you this market was curling up and that we were going to go long right here. So, you know, we're sitting back. We're going to finish up our water. I'm going to go get another one. We're at the day's high for myself right now as we called this whole move. So, I mean, I don't know what else we can really do. We felt it. That comes with experience, right? Like feeling that something was about to happen there. We did get the long. You know that the Tesla long is in. I mean, the Tesla long right now, I mean, let's just call it for what it is. Let's just moon this thing right now. We already got out for $1. It's now $1.50 in the money. We called it. I mean, we called this move. That's why we're long everything. We're long $3 in the money right now on Meta, right? I said, like, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. This is what dreams are made of. We love trading these markets. These are the markets to trade. Like, you know, you wait for these moves. We're here. We came on early, and wow, what a good move upside there. Meta 123.50. Will it stop? No one knows. You guys were all laughing. Why are we not turning the bull into a bear? Why are we not doing that? I mean,
I don't think anyone was laughing.
They were in the chat. But there it is. Nice upside move. It could still be bearish, guys. Make sure that you take advantage of these moves. We've done it. We've cashed out. We're still holding a little bit here. Let's see about 123 on Meta. Just get out of there. We can get out of the way and just, you know, let everything else ride. $3 in the money on Meta, $1 on AMD. The dollar gang is over here, guys. Tesla, dollar in the money as well. That name is the one that you might, you know, we just went to 160 and stopped right there. Look at this move. 159.70 right into this 160. We might look back and think that we should have got out right there of that move, Tesla. 159. That could have been a good one. And then, of course, Meta, right up to 123. That's probably another good stopping spot as well for Meta as the market just flirts with positive. We can put the poll up now, positive or negative. I mean, this is...
Well, it's a little...
No, because it's flat.
We're flat now. Actually, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah,
it's a good time to put it up.
Yep.
Justin, if you're listening, put that poll up. Brenda, was it Brendan? No?
No.
No, it was no call for Brendan, but... I just very quickly, I said 259 on Microsoft. That was another channel break. I'm showing you the line there. It did break up. It got up to 261. I got some out in front of 260. On the way back in here, if we bounce off 259 again, I'm just going to try and reload it. Meta, Microsoft did not hold on to Alphabet. Look, the reality is we don't really ask anything from you guys here, and hopefully we'll get this poll up. But I don't want to see like a million responses to the poll and then not a lot of likes for the show. You guys know what happens if we get any of the shows to 5,000. My punk ass has to eat a Packy chip. I don't want to do it, but we'll do it if we get it. Just take a couple of seconds, sit back, look for good levels on your trades, enjoy the show. It's all about entertainment here, but it's also about keeping it real and paying it forward. We asked you to take 2 seconds, hit the like, hit the subscribe, but always, always, listen to that man, because he's got the goods.
That's it. That's all. He has left the building, guys. So hope you enjoyed that.
Oh, he did? Okay. A lot of times when Powell leaves the building, you can see a reversal on whatever the last move was. So as he's gone, that last push to the upside gets reversed. So I want to see, are we holding that support here in Microsoft at that 259? That where we can catch a bit of a dip? It looks like we're going to be testing. I'll give it to 258.50. That's about as far as I want to go. I took 1-to-1, so I want to give it 1-to-1. Meta's going to be a bit of a different story because that breakout's far deeper in the money at this point. VWAP is at 122. If it holds a higher low, I want to hang on to dodge there. I very quickly was talking about NVIDIA, that 180 level on NVIDIA. The reason I got that, it just turned exactly at 180, and you're like, why the heck does 180 matter in NVIDIA? Yes, it's a round number. Where's my 200 period moving average? Come on, load up. Trust me when I tell you, there you go. It's the 200 period moving average on the daily is 180 on NVIDIA. Probably the reason why it turned on an absolute dime just now at 180 on NVIDIA.
All right, there it is. We are now out of Tesla. It just went back to the downside. Look at this, guys. As Neil was talking, we got out at 123 on Meta. So there it is right there, man. We take our $3 and now we're gone on that one. We noticed that too late. I mean, I didn't notice it too late. I really thought the market was going to break there. It did break, and we just, like I said, we went right to the high of the day, and now we're pretty good. But we don't take advantage of that Tesla. I mean, we did. We got 50 cents, and then we got $1. So it was good, and then we got out for flat on another break to the downside. But there was our Where is it there? There's the Meta. So again, this was the one. I thought Tesla could go through 160. Meta, unfortunately, came up to 123. We had that high wick to 123.20. We got out at 122.75. So just not letting it fall back down, able to get it out. So there's the pickup right there, 119.80, and there's the out 122.80. So if the math is correct, that's $3 there. Nice move on Meta. AMD, meh, went all the way to the upside. We definitely did. Look where AMD stops. Come on, man. 70.50, right literally on a dime there, right at these levels. If you're not, I know there's people that don't believe in technical analysis and stuff like that.
To each their own.
That's fine. And you don't have to bbelieve. Sometimes it's just about the idea, right? Give yourself confidence to buy or sell at certain levels. It's the stock itself doesn't really, it's going to move the way it's going to move. That could have kept going, but there's no doubt. We stop at the 200 and at VWAP here. Fod, could you come over here for a sec? On the chart. Yeah, right there, 70.50 stopping out. I guess I could move this over. Stopping out for AMD right there. It also coincides with that top. So sometimes you got to engineer your positions a little bit around, support and resistance levels, and then also coinciding with technicals. But wow, we just, filled up again. Shout out to Shakib out there. Shout out to Arun, part of Hydration Nation. I know Neil's crushing his water here. But yeah, this has been a big day here. Nice move so far. But wow, it's range bound, really. Ultimately, so when I went to get the water, Brendan just said sort of to me, he's like, and we're right back to flat again. All of those moves, all that action. It was really fun, and we did really well. We made a decent amount of money, but at the same time, we're still right back to where we were. Is that poll up yet?
Yeah, you know what? Because we're still range bound, what just happened, and look, I'm now out of Meta. It broke that 122, it bounced off that 122, but we actually rejected 12,000 on the NASDAQ. When I double checked that, it's no, we're not above 12,000. I don't need to be getting greedy. I'll do what I did with Alphabet, which is just take the profit. I'm now not in anything except for, I'm still in that IMMX. That's that small cap stock. But I'll get that poll up myself. I don't know if we had a chance. I want to make sure we get that to you guys because we're right there. And just give me a quick second. I'll get it up for you guys.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, let's get that poll up. Do you think we're going to be positive or negative? We'll do the ES. I mean, the ES is the same as the NASDAQ right now. Actually, what is the ES at right now? 0.12.
It's up.
Yeah, 0.12 for the ES. Remember, if you are here at Day Trade the World or anywhere, make sure that you switch over your I guess the code. I don't know what this is, because right now we're into the front run contract. So you can see it's 23. It goes HMUZ for the futures. So we're at H23, which should be the contract that expires there in the first quarter of 2023. So that's what that's there for, because it's just doing more volume than the December contract, which expires in 3 days, the third Friday of the expiring month. So that's why we switched that over. Wow. Okay. You know what names battled back a little bit? I know Neil was on it earlier. I don't think, no, he's not in it now. Amazon, $92. It goes right to that level again. Could be a short. I want to, we just ran the stock to the upside, man. We did really well, as you guys know there. We were sitting back, relaxing there. But, missed some shorts, that's all. I thought the market was going to boom there. 93, though, is the short for Amazon. It got to 92.50. If we do retrace back up, you could get that. Check back in on Tesla.
Did it work?
It worked. I see it. Yeah. Yes, bulls, no bears, you put up, right?
Okay.
So we already have 102 votes. I don't know. I was pretty bullish there, but that move that happened with Powell, I don't know. I thought we could have gone a little bit higher. I choose
more or less 50-50.
Pikachu. I choose you. So I chose bulls.
What's Pikachu?
Right there.
Why is Pikachu a bull?
He's not a bull. I'm saying where I choose. Pikachu is you know what he looks like, right?
I know what he looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what he is.
My daughter's now into.
They said Hello Kitty wasn't even a cat
Pokemon
or something. What was that controversy? There was something. Fahad knows. I think
it's called Kitty. It's a cat.
No. There's someone. I don't know. We'll have to look that up. Maybe someone can tell me about that.
I'm not.
There was something about Pikachu is a rat. What?
Pikachu's
okay.
a rat.
Maybe he is. Electric mouse. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that is what Pikachu is. Yeah, that's a good one there. But I choose you too, Grant.
Like an alien.
Right now, I choose all of you guys. So thanks again for supporting the channel. Hello Kitty. Yeah, well, I think it's female, but I think there was some talk about that on social media. I don't know. My wife was showing me how ridiculous it is, and now I'm bringing it over here. But anyways, okay, AMD, the only name that we're long, and it's long and in charge right now. Let's see if we get back to 70.50 for AMD.
100%. I still have my lines being drawn here. So I voted I voted for red just because I can't get out of Meta and talk about the 12,000 on the NASDAQ and then not vote for red. And then I realized it's actually the S&P that I put it up for.
Yeah.
But they're pretty much exactly the same thing. A lot of times the divergence, there isn't much of one now. That won't stop me from getting back on the bid in front of 122 here on Meta. I do want to make sure that I have some dip buys. I just want to play inside there a little bit. And then the one level that I yelled it out. I just wasn't quick enough to get over there when it happened, because that's a wick to 180 on NVIDIA. And then the reversal was like $1 pretty much instantly when it reversed that level. If we do get a move back up, 180, that monster level, I will have to take a look at it, both the short and front. And then if it somehow it breaks out, I suppose it could be a bit of a long. And then I think you said Roblox you were looking at there. Oh, Roblox is on the New York. You said you were looking at Roblox. So slow, entered twice. This has an interesting top as well, but it's going to be the day's high. 33.75 is going to be that day's top. It's a pretty weak stock, obviously, but it's got room to run were it to take out this high. I'm just going back to yesterday. Like yesterday's CPI high was $2 from here on Roblox, and that's what sort of stood out to me if that takes out said top at 33.75. So this one's going to be on my radar. We only have about 35 minutes to go to the end of the day and 25 minutes to the imbalances. I would expect on a day like today, we could see some imbalances show up and be a little bit significant. And then the other name that I was to the long side looking for that dip was enter twice. There we go. That was Google. We had 94 long. Then we waited for it to break and took 95 long. Whether or not you get in, get out in front of one range, then get in, get out at the next range, it's 94 to 95, it's 95 to 96, and then if it plays back to 95, I'll probably go long 10 to 15s with a 95 stop in there. But it looks like we are reversing off some of these highs. So I want to be patient, allow the move to come back to me without chasing it too far. And then I said I would give Mullen on that breakout just quickly here. I said I'd give Mullen back to 26 in that break. So man over word, we took 27, it went halfway, took a couple legs out. It stalled out at 26 even. I didn't look back to see that it was a wick bottom because I was busy trading Alphabet and Meta at the time. Brendo again, I guess.
Back downside a little bit here for both the ES and the NASDAQ. We'll take a quick pause and talk a little bit about how this was traded. If you enjoyed this, guys, make sure you're here tomorrow afternoon. We're going to have Peter Schiff on the show. He's going to give us his entire reaction to all of what has just taken place and what has happened, what he expects going into next year. So tomorrow, 2:45, Peter Schiff will be here. Sean's going to talk about how he just took care of the Fed.
Yeah, I'm glad the Fed didn't take care of me today. It hasn't actually. We've actually traded the Fed really well, and I think that this is the most important thing, and it's about patience. I was in trades. I could have showed you AMD that broke the level, and we absolutely crushed that to the downside on Fed. Well, I could show you the trade we just took on Tesla. We could show you our Microsoft. There's lots. We could show you Meta, which we're going to do. And the reason why I think Meta is so important is because even before the Fed came out, and I want to thank everybody for joining us early, and make sure you hit that sponsor at the bottom right, Day Trade the World, to start your prop floor, by the way, before I forget that. And that is just to be patient. We talked about waiting for some levels. It was so expected to be 50 basis points that I just wasn't sure what was going to happen right away at 2 o'clock. And as you can see here for Meta, it was just a big time move to the downside. This is 2 o'clock right here, and it's a huge move. You can see when the volume came in, it definitely extended it to the downside, and we don't have any trades at all until we were happy that we found a bottom possibly here at 119. We definitely like the 120 level intraday, which is actually, now that I look at this, is actually down here because that's sort of where we started the day, down here at 120. But I was like, let's wait for a name that we know we like long, right? The market right now down. Meta up 1.6. I think I covered, oh no, here's the market right here. I didn't cover it up. The NASDAQ is down 0.6. So I knew I wanted to get something that had the opportunity to fly if the market rebounded. So that's what the logic was right here for Meta. Now, what we did was we double checked it. Not only were these 119s bottom today, but you just move over to the 13th and the 14th where we had a 119 bottom back into there as well. So we had the confidence to put on a trade here at 119. So this is going to be a Fed trade. Okay, but it doesn't actually happen till about 240 or so when Meta finally comes back down. Now, we could have had it right there. The first time, though, Meta comes in to 119, we didn't have confidence that it was going to be the bottom. That's the thing. We did not have confidence that that was the bottom. It could have kept on going. We actually got out of our Microsoft trade when it broke that 256 because we were like, hey, maybe the bottom is lower. Maybe there is no bottom. So we waited for it to happen. We get in. Look at this first take. Because it's Fed, you have to expect sort of the unexpected, right? That's a big move. 119.50, first out 120.20. That's 70, 80 cents. Fine. I don't really know why we took that, to be honest with you. It just happened so quickly. It was like in 1 or 2 minutes. Then boom, right back into this other range. So what we have to do is, if we're going to play off support and resistance, that has to be our logic to get out. So here it comes right back up to the upside. 121.50, we're out. Not only is it a 50, but it's right there. You saw me trade this live on the show. Then we rip up and we do the same math again. And this time, though, I thought we were mooning. I was like, honestly, I thought the day's high was in jeopardy once we broke through like this. We broke huge. Look at this volume. We broke huge there. So you heard me, we sat back and we were relaxed. But once we settled down, we noticed that this was also a previous high. So as soon as we saw that, if I expand this out, you're going to see it bounced around here a couple times. We made a wick top at 123.20. So that when it pulled back, I put my stop at 122.75 because, hey, if we're wrong, all right, and we get out and it rips back up to the upside, fine. We've taken $3. That's a $3 fill exactly. We took the $3. Okay, we got out. But if we're right and it pulls back, look where we are right now. So that was a great out, pulled it back, and yeah, we had a big trade. It was a great one, and it was Meta, and it was patience. Just because it's Fed day doesn't mean you need to rush in. We were in trades at 2. We were in trades all this whole time. But this one, to me, was the easiest for a teaching point, comes down to a big support level, comes up to another resistance, and we play them both. It's Meta, and it's your Fed trade of the day.
All right, just watching a few things here. Meta, one of those, back to the downside right now. There was a note suggesting North Dakota is going to join, let's keep track here. I think it was Texas, New York, and now North Dakota might be the third, but I'll double check. States in banning TikTok on state-issued devices. But here's Meta, back to the downside. Snap as well, back to the downside right now with the overall market, guys.
So this is actually a very important point here because on a Fed day, like normally I hear that news from Brendan, and if I'm getting a good price on Meta, I would just go long when I hear that. But this is Fed day, so when the market reversed off that resistance, no. Like I'm not just going to blindly punch on. As a matter of fact, we broke 122, so the reload scalp trade that I had on Meta's out. 95 broke on Alphabet, so I'm no longer in that. Like the longs that I had are gone at this point because we broke back down below resistance. That said, there was this consolidation 120 about 50 to 60 that could come into play here on Meta as it comes back down. I'm probably going to keep myself over NVIDIA. NVIDIA's back at the low of the day. And this, I mean, you know what? NVIDIA, I should have had this in my bucket because the evaluation on NVIDIA is insane. Like, it's also got a huge PE, and I should have had this on my short list, and it got to 180, and I've now missed the boat. This could take out low of the day at this point. If you voted on the poll, and you picked, it's still 53% bulls.
What?
I'm a little bit confused as to how we just went from flat to down 1%, and we still think 53% think the ES is going to finish positive. Well, if that's the case, we're going to have one heck of a bounce off these bottoms. And I just threw out some plays because, you know, you haven't broken the range.
Nope.
Like Meta never broke the high from the from pre-Fed, and it never actually broke this morning's low right down here at 119. So it's actually still well within the pocket. I'll now look at that 121. This is not about the TikTok news, by the way. I don't really care about that. It's if the market can hold the lows, if the ES can hold 4,000, if the NASDAQ can, hold this recent bottom, it was about 11.8, then I think Meta has been a relatively strong stock. It's still up 1%.
Yeah, Meta's been good there. I came back and I was like, oh my God, I have this AMD position. I didn't even realize that we had this. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes when you put it on there.
You were shorting AMD though.
I don't know what happened there. No, I wasn't. No, I was short early. Yeah. But I did want to buy this dip. So
okay.
We did buy this dip, but it was 69, and then I was going to get out at a break of 69, but it went to 69.85. My offer is at 68. Like we said, we got to give it a little bit more room, 68.75. So I'm fine with where it went, but we did get a piece out when we sat back down. Now it's in the money, up to 18s again, but our price is 15, so it's not a great price. I would have bought a little bit more on the bottom, but we just didn't have the opportunity to do that. Like I said, we were not sitting here, but that's fine. All is good on that front so far. But yeah, AMD now cranking a little bit lower. We did take a piece out for flat because, like I said, we came back and realized we didn't have the greatest price there. So we'll wait for that, see where we're going now. But it looks like a nice little downside move here for AMD. Let's just see if it can respect that. It doesn't look like it wants to hold out, but I'm giving this one to 68.75. Again, down here, it's retraced pretty much fully all the way back. We do have that 70 top that we talked about in the first place, 70.50, that we should have respected when we were there. And now we're going to get burned a little bit here on this dip back down. So AMD is coming off a little bit here, back into the downside. That sucks. We are going to, you know what, this is a good time and we can buy back what we just sold. We'll buy some back there at 88s. And then, yeah, darn it. It looks like that 68.75. The momentum is pretty strong right now to the downside. We're below the 50 period here on the I'm not overanalyzing. This is what I do every day. We're below the 50 period here on the NASDAQ. And we did that poll. We were flat.
It was exactly flat.
So, yeah, the market is basically, saying hold my beer here and making that move to the downside. So there's a good reload. Let's take a piece out here at 06. We just reloaded 88s there. So again, it's not going to look like huge trades, but trust me when I tell you these are good for me. So it's a nice little move back up to the upside. We'll take a piece out at 69 teens again if we get there for advanced micro. Let's go back up to the upside, my guy.
Yeah, and sort of the same thing. Like, just take advantage of whatever bounce you have. I did get some early there on Meta, 121.50. Didn't really like that entry, but I allowed it to bounce off 121 and then added to it once it held 121. But it's just running into resistance at 50s again. So if I get VWAP, for sure I want to take some out there. But now I want to be tight to this 121 level. I'm staring NVIDIA in the face at that 175, but the actual low of the day is 174. So I got to remind myself that 175 is insignificant on that stock. And then Tesla, right back down into that 155 level. I didn't expect this to be true, but that 155 is now setting up. There's still 15 minutes till imbalances. That's setting up for a bit of a play here. If we get down and just have one little bit of a rubber band trade-off there, I don't care if there's size on the bid. I said that before, but 155's held once. I'd like to play a little bit of a bounce play because as far as I'm concerned, the ranges have not been broken on a lot of these stocks. And unless I see the futures breaking 4,000 on the ES or something crazy, I do want to play off of support and resistance until it proves otherwise, because that's just been a good trade this afternoon. And then, we have 15 minutes till imbalances here. There's not a lot of time for it to start breaking in one direction or another outside of the range. So I'll respect 155 there on Tesla. I'm trying to respect 121 on Meta as well.
I actually forgot that it's 3:40 already.
It's
like I know
late.
we just did the trade of the day.
That's what gets me.
That's what's getting me right now. Is that it is that late. Now, not that it's late. I mean, I don't. I don't think this trading is done today. There's not even close to being done. But the time is going on here. And I want to thank everybody for joining and for watching us. It's been a big show, as you guys know today. And we're really proud of everything that we put on for you. And I just hope that everybody is enjoying what we're throwing down, because it does take a lot. And this is what I was talking with SneakerCon here. And yeah, it's like, wow, I can't believe the stuff that you guys do while you're on the air. So I want to give a big shout out to all the viewers out there and all streamers and everybody, because this is not easy, right? I mean, we're putting on real trades here with real capital and trading real stocks. I mean, I'm sitting here putting my neck out on Tesla, AMD, Meta, same as Neil, all these Mullen, all these stocks that are very highly traded.
I shorted Moderna today.
He shorted Moderna. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with shorting Moderna
Yeah.
today?
Well, it depends on your level. What?
No, I kid at myself because I shorted it 3 times. Yes, I shorted it 6 times. That's the problem. The top was actually really good, but you do get run over. And I said, if you ever trade counter trend and you're not willing to make a top wick or get your butt handed to you sometimes, then you're never really going to catch the tops of these moves. And I get it. Sometimes you should just find a way to go long. And I was asking the chat, am I going to look for the short tomorrow, Moderna? If it sets up, the answer is yes, because that's just part of the game. I mean, if you think trading is hard, try raising a young lady. That's what I get told all the time.
No, trading's way harder.
Well,
way harder. I mean, think about it, right?
I feel like my daughter's not old enough for me to say definitively whether that's true or not.
But 99% of people that trade fail.
Well, that's true.
Right.
And you know what? As long as you love your kids,
that's it.
Billions upon billions of people have raised kids without any bloody clue what they're doing, and we all managed to figure it out. I got told that, like a buddy of mine who had twins, all he said was, you just love your kids, man.
Twins might be different.
He said, I have no bloody clue what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, and they're still alive, so everything is working out.
And how many accounts are dead?
You're right. It's 90-something.
This turned really like.
No,
this
so
is very
you know what? I take
mortality.
it back. It is much harder to trade than it is to raise kids, but they're both rewarding. How about that?
Rewarding.
How about that? They're both rewarding.
Well, how about this? They're both frustrating. I mean, my kids frustrate me on a daily basis. But
I couldn't find the elf on the shelf this morning, and it's like,
oh no, your elf hid it. My daughter was running. We have 2 elves on the shelf because one for each kid, and they always do these crazy games against each other. My daughter could not find, or she couldn't find it this morning. So I hope she eventually did.
She hid it on me. It's like, well, how am I supposed to move it to the new spot? Anyway,
who hid it on you? Oh,
she moved the elf on the shelf herself.
Wow, my kids would never touch the elf on the
last
shelf.
night.
No, you're not allowed to touch it.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah,
exactly.
okay. So
now
my
I don't
kids,
know where it is.
Wow, my kids would fight each other if they found out that one of them touched it. But you got the only child, so she can do whatever the hell she wants. But
that's
that's them fighting words in my house if you touch that elf because you're supposed. No. It's like basically. Have you watched the movie?
Oh, yeah, I've seen the movie.
Yeah. So that's if you watch it on Netflix, it'll explain to you all that.
There's a new thing, by the way.
We have fairy dust in case it gets touched. You sprinkle the fairy dust on it, and it kind of like revives it.
The new thing is
we're dads, by the way. Brendan's like elf on a shelf. Like, what the hell are these idiots?
I don't know if you've heard of
about?
Reindeer in Here, but if you haven't, I'm gonna give a shameless plug to the new thing, which is Reindeer in Here. And I'm only saying that because my brother literally animated a Christmas show. That
you don't
just
even
came
know
out.
the best one.
It came
though.
out on CBS, and they're trying to make it a thing as well. So I'm not getting my kid a reindeer, man.
The best one is Snoop on a stoop. Snoop Dogg. You hide a little Snoop Dogg around your house.
I'm down for that.
Keep that weed locked up.
I'll buy.
For that one.
I don't know where they're selling Snoop Dogg things I can put on a shelf, but just point me in the right direction. I got no problem with that, man.
Snoop on a stoop. Okay, back to trading with only 10 minutes to go before imbalances, which should be huge. It's true. I'm going to Google Snoop on a stoop right now.
I'm buying that quick
Snoop
time.
on a stoop.
Oh, by the way,
just
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say because I'm in AMD. It's really my only active stock. Carvana, I'm in it. I'm just kind of in that just for jokes. Not much is really happening on that one. I have such a small part of it. I will review that trade. But just quickly, because AMD is dancing here, we took an out when it went to 32. We took some outs here at 20s. We've been buying these dips. It's been a good trade for us there. We did buy this. That didn't work great to the upside. What did I just get filled on? I just got filled on AMD again, right in front of your face as I was talking about it, 69.20. So I just want to talk because I'm going to be getting out here one more time if we approach the 50 period. So that's 69.35. But Neil, just quickly, I know you want to talk about this, but here is Snoop on a stoop. So you can see what I'm saying here. He does have, maybe I should, I don't know what's going to load. There it is right there. Oh, darn it.
I'll get one.
Darn it. There it is right here. See, Snoop on a stoop. So a little cool. I'll find a better picture here, but that's what he's on right there. So it's pretty funky. I like it.
Yeah, we can find one for cheaper than $30 US, I'm thinking. I'm a little cheap. So I think I can find something for like 15, 20 bucks. Someone just put it into the chat.
I have the official Snoop on.
Well, back to trading. I did get the law of 121. I scalped some out there, 121.50 on Meta, and I want to take VWAP for the rest. We're running out of time in that it's about It's 342, so when imbalances come out, I like to have trailing stops and some targets to be able to take, and I'll give it one more chance to bounce off 121 before I do so. I mean, all you showed here, Lucas, is just a different one. So this is the same thing. It's just Snoop. It's 25 bucks. So I think that's like a little bit cheaper. Hopefully that's Canadian. But I'm not getting that till the 29th. No, I got to find something I can pick up before the 29th. That's ridiculous. All I'm going to say is I've got my ugly Christmas sweater this year. And the only hint I'll give is shout out to Luca is going to absolutely love my Christmas sweater this year. That's all I'm going to say. But I got mine locked and loaded. I'm going to be here. I'm not taking any more days off for the rest of the year. So I'm going to be here pretty much every single day. I know you're taking tomorrow to go see.
Oh, no, Avatar is the 16th.
What day is today?
14th.
Oh, shoot, today's the 14th.
It's the day it comes out. It probably comes out on Thursday. I don't know. I got it for the kids. Today is your brother's birthday?
I actually texted him this morning, but
oh, good. Well, at least
in the midst of all the trading today, I actually forgot to say. I forgot to say it on air. I sent him a message this morning, but I forgot to say it on air so that I can tell him, just watch the stream at 3:43. You're supposed to be working right now, but happy birthday, brother. You're older than me, but you look a heck of a lot better than I do. So congratulations on that. Tesla's bounced off the low there, and look, I'm in Meta, but I'm looking at Alphabet as well. Oh, did I miss a shot there? Never mind. Yeah, never mind Alphabet. I was looking at Alphabet at 94.5, but that's already made a move. So I guess I'm just in Meta to the long side. I'm just going to get out of this IMMX. At this point, it's not breaking 2, and it's not breaking the low. So I'll throw something on the bid, guys. The Friday thing.
Come on, Fahad. It's a Friday thing, my guy. He was like, maybe Neil has to rap today if we get those likes, but we don't have. It's a Friday. It's a Friday thing. Today is Snoop on a Snoop day. It's Fed day. It is Thursday. It is Thursday. It is not. It is Wednesday.
Stop confusing me,
as we go. I don't know. Yesterday we were. Well, I was confused. I thought yesterday was.
Don't confuse me.
Yesterday I was like, what's on for football tonight? And it was Tuesday. Okay, here we go, guys. Thanks again for the big show one more time. It's not. Neil's going to be eating that packy chip at 5,000, but it has to be for one stream, not an ad all day. Because
I just realized
we'd be at 5,000 now.
I'm gonna go find. I gotta order this chip because at some point you guys are gonna get it to the number, and I can't eat it if it's not here. So.
Oh, that's right. Attention, Justin. You have on Amazon.
I don't know where you can pick it up.
Amazon.
Oh, it's just on Amazon.
Yeah, but it's $45.
It cannot be $45 for a single chip.
Okay, maybe we can get a couple super chats here for $5 each or something.
No, I don't. It's principle, right? Principle is priceless, and that's highway robbery.
But if someone, but if we get super chats,
when we do it.
then maybe we'll feel better.
No, we'll get the chat. I don't care. We'll get it anyways. I'm just whining and complaining about.
Oh God! Now I'm seeing here. I mean, I just loaded it up here.
I just got out of Meta.
I am an Amazon Prime member, but what? Now it's $50. I literally just.
Inflation's a Mitch.
I just looked at this the other day.
I believe you.
Because I was like, oh, Neil's gonna have to do this soon. We better.
We better pick it up because it'll be $60 next from Financial Juice. So
95 million.
That's pretty ridiculously small. I kind of thought we might see an imbalance today, but I suppose
that is like honestly, guys down, and looks like that might have come through. But you know what? Now,
neither here nor there anymore. I want to check back in before the imbalances come on Moderna. Sorry, folks. There's nothing we can do about it. If you are still hearing us, thank you very much. And if you're in Canada, then we should be complaining maybe about the provider. I don't know, but we do have maybe. Apologize to everyone. We'll go to Brandon in a quick second here, but I like a good derp face as good as the next guy. So that's me. I'll tweet it out because I'm self-deprecating. Someone said it looks like I'm kissing something. I don't know if that's true. I'm just in the middle of talking about Moderna and how I got run over about 25 million times there today. But let's go to Brandon here just for one last time, I think, before the close.
This is what I see right now, guys. So, I mean, even if you refresh, it's not doing much. So, I wish I had more positive news, but they are looking into it, and we'll see if we can't get things back. But, I mean, we got 5 minutes left, so most likely not. Nothing terribly exciting in the way of earnings today. We do get Adobe as the big headliner on the earnings front. That's coming up tomorrow after the close again. Peter Schiff.
SRNE, that's a...
SRNE, that's not a weed stock, I don't think.
Therapeutics?
Therapeutics maybe.
That's a penny stock.
Yeah, penny stock anyways. Nothing on here as we go. We talked about CLVS. I mean, that's 11 cents as well. So some of these names have just been.
Despite the pullback, we ended
Yeah.
up still up over 1%.
So you get back a little bit today. We'll see what comes in the next couple of days. But like Neil said, I won't be here, so enjoy Neil and Arun. And then it should be a really good day, man. Thursday should be good. And I don't know, maybe this is the Free Fall Friday finally coming out.
Well, it's witching, isn't it, on Friday?
Oh, shoot, that's right. You get the, is it this Friday?
Is it this
yeah,
Friday?
the third Friday.
Yeah,
No, it's the
it is.
16th.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's witching. It's going to be
yeah,
witching.
that makes sense.
It's rebalancing.